Niners! Fam! Monday Night Raw. Of course, there's nothing to be... nothing raw about Monday nights anymore. There's nothing to complain about. Well, but there is Trey, who could come out of anywhere and all of a sudden have a complaint about something. He's Trey. By the way, Trey is the one who invented. He is the inspiration behind Monday Night Raw. But that was years ago. Fam, here's what I'm really delighted about. Did you notice the presser today was done in a kind of semi-normal fashion? I mean, it wasn't a virtual thing. There's John Lynch, Kyle Shanahan, reporters out in front being called upon. I was just delighted. Oh, God. It's so good to be somewhat back to normal. So that was good. That was good. In fact, today's headline subject, weeks ago, the scenario was kicked around to sign Jordan Reed to the Niners after Washington released him a while back. And it was kicked around in casual fashion by a lot of 49er fans. I remember I never really felt one way or the other. Jordan Reed. How much is he going to cost? First thing, how much is it going to cost? See, I hadn't really paid much attention to Jordan Reed's career. I knew he was good, but I didn't know a lot about him and all his history and pain and suffering and everything. So, and suddenly Jordan Reed's now a member of the 49ers, I guess, if he gets through the physical and things that he's got to get through. And also, news per John Lynch from that same presser they took today, Sean Poindexter and Contavia Street will be moving up off the PUP list. How do you feel about that? Poindexter's got a really steep curve to climb to get over the top. Contavia Street, I kind of think, is this the last year you're going to wait for Contavia Street to be able to come in and play football? Because the thing is, it's getting a little old, isn't it? Is he going to be able to do this or not? So, I'm just thinking that. Richie James is back on the active NFI after being on the COVID-19 list. And poor DJ Reed is out for the season. He moves to the reserve NFI. Torn pec is a 4 to 6 month injury, so he'll not be returning. That was the reasoning behind John Lynch thinking that way. So, as Professor would start out, 6 months after being released by Washington, Jordan Reed has found his way back to the NFL and San Francisco. Jay Reed has agreed to a one-year deal with the Niners. I understand it's pretty much an incentive-laden contract, probably pending upon Jordan. Can you stay on the field all season? If you can, we're willing to pay. Let's see what happens. Lynch announced that yet-to-be-finalized deal. The move reunites Reed with Coach Shanahan. This is always a good thing. It's amazing how Shanahan can always find his alumni out there everywhere and come in and play football for him. When you look at our left guard now, I mean, can you get any lucky than that? But also Reed. He played during his rookie season when Shanahan was the OC. And Shanahan said while addressing the media this afternoon, I quote, "I think everyone's aware of Jordan's ability. When he's been healthy, he's played at an extremely high level, and he's been one of the best third down tight ends when he's been healthy. You're not just trying to add a number. You're adding a guy who, if he's healthy, everyone's seen how he's played in this league. I know he's hungry to come in and play football. He hasn't gotten to do much of that lately. And when you have a talented guy who's hungry to play football, it works out. And if he can stay healthy, Jordan's had some bad luck over the years. I know he's ready to go. I hope he has some good luck here. And if he does, I think it's going to be a hell of a deal for the Niners and a really good deal for him also." Unquote. Actually, when I was going through that, in that passage, I was like, Coach used the term, "if he is healthy," how many times? Lynch echoed the same sentiment, saying, quote, "There is some risk reward. We got to the point where we felt the risk that we're taking on was worth it. the potential reward, unquote. Fam, I'm a little afraid to get excited about this one. Remember last year how excited we were? We heard about Jason Verrett. Jason Verrett, Pro Bowl, Jason Verrett coming to join the 49ers secondary. Yes! The first thing we did start picking on Kello Witherspoon. Spoon, sit down! No, I didn't because I told you guys Spoon was going to be good. He was. In the beginning, I thought he was going to hold on to that level of play. He didn't. But Jason Verrett came into the Pittsburgh game and got beat like a drum. And then I says, oh, my God, he's not ready for prime time. He's got to get back into rhythm. And a lot of things have got to come back together. He just can't come back after God knows how long he had been out and come in and just show you Pro Bowl Jason Verrett. It's not going to happen. And he got embarrassed on 2 different plays. It got to the point Pittsburgh started picking on him until Kyle finally said, all right, that's it. As both Lynch and Shanahan alluded to, it's been a roller coaster of a career for JR. 4 of his 7 NFL seasons have prematurely ended by way of a trip to the injured reserve list. In 2019, Reed suffered a concussion in the 3rd preseason game and ended up sitting out the entire year. When healthy, Reed is there's that word again. When healthy, Reed has often looked like a stud, utilizing that sturdy 6'3" frame, reliable hands to pull off some sensational performances. And I wish he could do it now, because if you could put somebody next to George Kittle that can draw that kind of fever, can draw that kind of attention, DCs will be done. They will be finished. Kyle started running them 2 tight end sets, and you know what that means. Boy, if only. See, but I can't think like that just yet. JR's best season came in 2016 when he played in 12 games and accumulated 66 receptions for 686 yards and 6 touchdowns en route to earning his first Pro Bowl nod. He was also ranked number 65 on the NFL Top 100 list following that season. This boy can play football, there ain't no doubt about it. But can he stay healthy? JR can play, but I'm telling you, the Jade Reed story will now continue in San Francisco, where he joins a more than capable organization that knows how to bring the best out of their tight ends. Don't get Kyle Shanahan started from 2 tight end sets, because now, woo, that whole offense just comes alive in a whole. Then we start to look like Atlanta. Then we start threatening. Kyle's already got a record with Atlanta. I almost called them the Braves. With the Falcons now, Atlanta's got how many teams? Falcons, Braves. Don't they have a basketball team? Oh, yeah, they do, don't they? Anyway, that 7th ranked all-time most prolific offense record could be in jeopardy. Because with what Shanahan's got now, and the speed, he's also molded that offensive setup to his model. Boy, Shanahan could come up around number 6 and number 5. Look out, look out, look out. Anyway, George Kittle will obviously receive the bulk of the action, but if things check out in medically, Reed's skill set and familiarity with Shanahan, which is a big plus, could lead to a career-reviving run for the constantly in pain. Jordan, come on, man, you can do it. Give us a year, get us that Super Bowl. And you can get 31 years old with a Super Bowl ring. You on it, man. See, this is what's going to happen. Every year we're going to get this guy, these kind of veterans for the next 2 or 3, 4 years at least. He can come in and wants to get a ring, and he could make the difference. Those additions like that are the ones that can make the difference, right? Fam, my question to you tonight is, do you believe in this deal? High hopes for it. What are you expecting? Can he do it? Can he stay on the field? Or is this a waste of time and roster space? Because, we don't have a lot of extra roster space we could waste on somebody who's going to come in, get hurt from day one, and we have to make a phone call to see if we can find somebody to come back in and play for us. Anyway, these are the things I'm thinking about. My feeling on it, I kind of believe in this deal. I want it to happen because I'm just kind of optimistic like that. I'd like to see Jordan Reed come in because, like I say, if he is going to be healthy, if he is going to be Jordan Reed, if he is going to run alongside GK, good God almighty. All that smack that other people are running out there, especially Hawks fans. I just got into one on Twitter just a few minutes ago before I came in here, probably. I get heated in arguments. Well, you know, Don't mess with me, Seattle. You got one more player. So what? Now I got one. Let him work out. And then you can put Jamal out there all you want to. They'll both double team his head. Well, I tell you, I love this game. Hey, Ray Jr., what's up, fam? Niners are making moves, and I love it. You and me both, fam. Matt S., a shout-out from Bend, Oregon, and go Niners all day, Matt. Zoe, 81. Ronbo! Reed could be a good pickup if he stays healthy. He should put on his uniform if he stays healthy. Just put a little, there should be T-shirts sold, Reed, if he stays healthy. So I hate Big Heck. Man, I wish I was able to see training camp in person this year. Oh, we all do. Mr. Block. Okay, wait, over here. Peter Gorman. Hey, Kittle did miss 2 games last year, if you remember. Yeah. I thought it was more, actually. He only missed 2. I know he missed the Hawks game, and the Hawks ain't never got over it. Still talking. Anthony Baker said, hey, go Niners from Memphis, Anthony. Mr. Black Guy says, Reed is a good signing. It's just that he needs to stay healthy. That's the key words today, if he could stay healthy. It's going to open the field up because it's so much you have to cover. Oh, yeah, on Monday Night Raw. That's what I'm saying. You don't get Jordan Reed out there. Now your DC doesn't know what to do because Reed will kill you. And you know George Kittle will. Now Debo Taylor, Bourne, everybody just eats. McKinnon out there. Oh, my God. Oh, God. What a deal if he can just stay healthy. Clarence, come on in, man. Woo. This is really exciting.
Ronbo?
Clarence? Yes.
I'm first. Praise the Lord. How you doing, sir?
Clarence, I'm doing fine. I'm glad to see you in a very, apparently, a reverent mood today. How you doing?
Yes. I'm doing just fine. I heard about the trade earlier today. I was like half asleep, but I could talk about it. So what does that mean for Dwelly?
Oh, sorry.
Dwelly's got to earn his spot.
Now, who?
Dwelly? Ross Dwelly?
Oh, Dwelly.
The other tight end?
You know, everybody relies on Dwelly being Dwelly, but you know he's got a ceiling. He could be only so good, which is not bad. But if you can get a level above Dwelly, you probably want to try it. At the end, I got to tell you, Clarence, watch Dwelly continue to be the guy that fills the void. Because nobody believes that Jordan Reed, after all the years he's had of always being on the IR, is going to change that. A lot like Jason Verrett from last year. So, that's what.
So
that's
they're going
most
to carry 4 tight ends?
Is who?
So they're going to carry 4 tight ends for the season?
I know, right? Let's see.
I don't know.
Good question. You're right.
So I think that second tight end spot is going to be between Reed and Dwelly. Because Ward is going to be on the team. They need him. They need that guy. He's still pretty good. He's good too, but they also need him for special teams. You don't want Reed playing special teams.
No, please. You're right. Dwelly could be the odd man out.
Right? Unless he earns his spot. So that's the thing. Because I'm pretty sure that Jordan Reed, you said it was incentive land. It's probably incentive for him to make the team.
It's stay on 2 feet. You're right. They're not carrying 4 tight ends. Clarence.
Right.
You're right. What are they going to do with Dwelly?
So it's going to be a tight end battle also.
I mean, it's tight all over that roster now, let alone carrying an extra tight end.
Right.
Oh.
So basically, it's a carrot to Jordan saying, it's a Reed saying, all right, I'm going to give you a little bit of cash here to try to make, and try to make the team. You can't make the team, you can't make the team. So there you go. So we probably got a little bit of maybe a guaranteed money, like $50,000.
But Clarence,
and then if you make the team, you get the rest.
Yeah, but how long will they wait to make that kind of decision? You let Ross go too soon, or if you're going to do that, somebody just suggested here the realist How about putting Warner on the practice squad? That could be risky.
Right. That's what I was saying. It's a logical spot for Warner, but not during this season.
Man, it's like John Lynch says. It's such a high risk reward. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I didn't mean to put a little wrench into your works today.
No, you brought to light a very serious matter. I didn't even think about how many tight ends we currently have in camp. Yeah. Dwelly versus Warner. No, we just drafted Warner, and they picked him up for a very specific reason. And George Kittle is not in this conversation. So now you have 4. Hey, there it is, fam. The question of the night coming from Clarence. What do you do with Ross Dwelly? Do you run the risk of trusting Jay Reed to stay on the field all year? Or what do you do? Clarence, excellent.
And then one more little wrinkle here for you. So that means Hurd is going to be strictly a wide receiver, or are they going to make him like an H-back type like Delaney Walker was?
Did you say Hurd?
Yeah, for Hurd. Remember, some people were thinking, even myself, you might want to make him to a tight end.
Not now.
Hybrid type. Not now. So I'm thinking maybe a H-back type like Delaney Walker was back in the day.
Clarence, here's the thing. Everything is pending because the fact of the matter is we don't know if Hurd is going to be staying healthy. We certainly don't know if Jordan Reed is going to be healthy. You've got a lot of question marks amongst those few guys. And if you throw away the wrong one, oh, man.
Yeah, that's a good point. So our coaching got to be up on top of it, running the jump.
Man, at this point, I'd have to ruminate on this for about a 24-hour period. I have no idea at this moment what they're going to do with that. Clarence, you know what we're going to do? We're going to collect some other observations on that incredible point you brought up, too.
I appreciate it. Thank you. Hey,
man,
you guys be safe out there in Cali.
Hey, you too, Clarence, wherever you are, man. You know, now everybody's becoming asymptomatic, meaning that everybody has this, apparently. You either show symptoms or you don't. If you don't get tested, you don't show any symptoms until they look at you and you're feeling fine. Yeah, you've got it. What? I don't feel a thing. What? You're asymptomatic. Really? What does that mean? Don't touch anything. Stay away from your mom. Stay away from everybody you know. Just don't. You are a carrier. Right. No! My grandmother! You know?
It's not that hard to wear a mask.
Yeah, and then there's that. Yeah, so.
It's not that hard to wear a mask. Wear a mask.
Please.
And
all right, Clarence.
Keep on praying. All right, we'll get out of this.
Yes, we will. All right, Clarence. Appreciate you, family.
Appreciate it, Ronbo. You have a good night.
You too.
God bless you, sir.
You too, sir. Clarence, Clarence hit the nail right on the head with that, man. I forgot about 4 tight ends. God. Dollar Bill Will.
Hey, come back to me, Ronbo. I'm eating right quick. Come back to me.
Okay, can do. Oh, here we go. And Phil. Phil, I know Phil's got something to say about this.
Well,
Phil!
I tell you what, the other day I was abducted, and the R2D2 said that the Niners are in the bag for the Super Bowl, so don't worry about it, Ronbo.
I actually stopped worrying about that. I just get into arguments with people who like to come in and talk smack. That's why I feel you're smart to have social media. It does nothing but have you raging half the time. But Phil,
all right.
This
but
situation
anyway, you know, here's
Jordan.
The thing: people don't understand the practice squad. It's up to 16 now, and I think Dre, if he's listening, he can protect 4 players from getting picked.
Ooh.
So
Whoa.
And 4 players can be
I thought it was only
more
2.
than 3 years. No, 4 players can be more than 3 years of experience. So I'm thinking C.J. Beathard,
I was
you
too.
waive him,
As soon as you said that.
you get through, and you put him on the practice squad. You save $1 million. People like Warner, you put him on the practice squad. If what's his name gets a concussion, you bring him up, you
Bring
put
him
him on
back
an
up.
NFL contract, it's done. So, I mean,
That's worked out already.
there are things
Phil worked
that
that out
you
immediately.
can do with the practice squad that I think the Niners have an idea of what they want to do and who they want to have in backup roles that they can keep there safe and not be poached.
Yeah.
And the other thing is, if you poach a player, you got to put them on the
You got to put him on your active roster.
active roster, not the 53, the 40, whatever. You got to
Yeah.
put them on the team.
Mm-hmm.
So chances are, if you waive C.J. Beathard right after, right before the season starts,
He'll be there at the end.
nobody's going to pick him up because they haven't practiced with him. And you put him on the practice squad. You've got him there. You can pull him up for several games if the coronavirus hits both Mullins and Garoppolo.
Oh,
You can pull him up for a few games safely and then put him back down.
yeah.
And people need to understand this practice squad is going to be the key to your success.
Yeah. You can really manipulate that practice squad this year. I mean, the players made
Exactly.
that. Yeah.
So, I mean, that's going to be the key for the 49ers. I think they know what they're doing because of what the guys they signed, free agents, because, they're all backups to key players that we have. And I think they know that, you got 16 players on there. 4 of them can be veterans. I think that, they're going to manage that pretty well.
Yeah. And then we can actually stash some extra offensive linemen. That's what I really appreciate because, last
Well, you
year
have
we
to
actually
have
ran
at least
out.
8. You have to have at least 8 to have the 2 players from the practice squad that you can pull up. So we're going to have 8. I expect us to have 9 offensive linemen for sure, and I expect we got the 16 players on the practice squad, of which 4 we can protect, and the rest of the guys are going to be rookies. Nobody's going to pull them off without any preseason film on them.
Oh, yeah.
So
And no games or anything. Yeah, it'd be suicide.
exactly.
I mean, we can almost
But anyway,
put Ayuk on the practice squad. Nobody's going to bother him. You
no,
better not do that.
I
But
think would be a pick. Yeah. But the other thing is, I think people don't understand our special team needs. And with the 53-man roster, you're gonna pick guys that are special teams. You got to have a guy that can return punts. And if for instance, what's his name?
Dante Pettis?
No,
DJ,
the guy who
Richie James?
Richie
DJ
James.
Yeah, Richie James.
If they cut him, they have to keep at least Trent Taylor and Dante Pettis.
I wouldn't put Trent Taylor on that job for all. No.
That's why I'm saying you got to keep Dante Pettis to do it.
I'd put him
And then
out
you
there.
have Trent Taylor as a backup.
Yeah.
So,
You
you
can
got
return punts.
to look at these things. You got to look at the special teams as well.
Yeah.
So, with your roster, and I think
They probably pretty much
But
looked at
anyway.
that. Like you're saying, they've combed through that area, and they probably got that figured out. These guys don't leave anything uncovered. I'm telling you, Phil,
on
these guys
a
are so
positive note,
efficient. I'm sorry, go ahead.
on a positive note, everybody's picking us as either 1 or 2 or 3 as or 4 actually as the best roster in football.
Oh,
so,
God, yes.
I mean,
Depth alone.
we're there.
Yeah. Hawks
I
fans.
don't. That's why I want to play football so bad this year
Because it's
we've got the team that can actually win the Super Bowl. You know, I don't want to miss an opportunity.
Mm-hmm. Hey,
So,
Phil, I got to tell you, if baseball keeps forging on by postponing games like they're doing now, then football for sure is going to say, but you know the best thing about it, we can't do double headers like they can in baseball. Baseball teams can do double headers
No.
down the road during that long schedule they got and be fine. You can't cancel a football game unless you play
No,
it
you
Tuesday
can't.
or Wednesday or a week or something. I could see that happening, but man, it's going to be rough.
And 2 things I wanted to point out before I got abducted. You know, your point on Jason Verrett,
Yeah.
I think is spot on.
Yeah.
I think if he's healthy, he's the guy that can back up K1. He's the guy that can go out in the corner. I mean, it adds to our depth, especially with DJ Harris.
DJ Reed.
DJ Reed out for the season. I mean, he's basically out for the season.
Oh, he is.
With a pick torn.
Torn pec, yeah. And we don't want him to come staggering back in half ready to play like Quan did. But, Phil, awesome stuff as per usual. I'm going to tell you what, let me see you.
The other thing I want to just mention, Tim Harris is going to be, maybe we'll see some of him too. So
I'm looking forward to that. Oh, I want to know. Because the guy was a stud in school. All right, Phil, we got to move.
Yeah.
We're late night again.
All right, man.
I'll see you Thursday.
All right, Ronbo. Thanks for having me.
Thank you,
and
Phil.
I'll tell the aliens hi.
I know they were all over you. We were scared for you, Phil. They let you go.
I know.
Good.
I know. I saw the text. All right, man. Take care.
Night,
Bye.
Phil. No, I'll be back Wednesday. I'm going to come back. Maybe they have another press conference, but they only have once a week normally. Monday and Wednesday, maybe? Maybe. We'll see. Oh, James is still up out in the Garden State of New Jersey. James, come on in, James, and talk to us about Jordan Reed.
What's happening, Ronbo? How you doing, man?
Oh, doing great. I just wish that if we go get a guy like Jordan Reed, do we have to put him in the shop first? You know how you buy a car and you got it cheap, so you take it down to your mechanic to see if he can do anything with it before you finish paying for it? I mean, would. Can he please come out there and help us, or is he going to be sitting down watching the game? We don't need that.
Well, I tell you, I think it's kind of like I think it's maybe signing him for an assurity, like, they don't know what's going to happen with the COVID testing.
Yeah.
If you have players that, as the season goes on, and they start testing positive, then where are you going to get the other players at least to replace them? I mean, you got to, because truth be told, Jordan Reed, when Kyle was the
coaching him,
offensive coordinator, and his dad was the coach at Washington, this guy was a stud, man. But those concussions, I mean, he's had quite a bit of them, and he was out. I think one of them he was out for almost like 12 games or something like that.
Last year, it took him out completely.
Yeah, last year. Yeah. It took him out completely. That's right. But it was another time I think he had a long stretch also with it. Then last year it was he was gone for the whole year, but he is a phenomenal talent. Now, what I will say, there's a possibility too that Kyle brought him in to play a limited role package because you still, or to back up somebody like maybe say, to me, I think not a dark horse, but a secret weapon that we already know about is Jalen Hurd. And I just can't see defenses trying to put up a defense that could stop Kittle and Hurd on the field with McKinnon in the backfield at the same time. I just really don't, because you're going to have to double either one or two. And you only got 11 guys on the field. So if you're doubling Kittle, you already know what Hurd can do with people doubling him when he's healthy. At least we got a taste of it in preseason last year. So that's what I believe. I mean, and then like Phil was talking about, the expanded role of the practice squad. And yeah, you could delegate players like
CJ
Beathard.
Yeah.
You could put CJ on there. Only thing you got to worry about somebody wanting to sign is that guitar he's got. They ain't gonna bother him at all.
We got him to play music.
Yeah, man. At the end of the day, I mean, him possibly. Yeah, man. I mean, it's like, these guys, they're not gonna really contribute, And at the end of the day, I mean, we've seen names like Jordan Matthews get signed. We've seen Travis Benjamin, that's also in the receiving corps. So it's a lot of,
But
it
Jadeveon
makes you feel
Clowney,
optimistic.
Jadeveon Clowney still can't find a job.
Listen. I've been listening to, the different comments about it. I mean, that's always been the way football contracts have been navigated. A division rival, that if a team goes to the Super Bowl in a division and now another team has a player that the team that went to the Super Bowl all of a sudden has interest in, that team is going to do what they can do to try to sign him, even if it's more money to prevent him from going to that contender in their division that went to the Super Bowl. So it's James, it's all, and then
one thing I want to ask you about before we run out of time, I'd love to get your opinion on this. Now, here's the thing. Now, Ross Dwelly, according to what Phil just brought to the table, and then Clarence mentioned earlier, you have the Ross Dwelly situation. Now, do you relegate him to the practice squad? Do you put Warner on the practice squad? Because they understand you can't cherry pick from the practice squad like he used to, unless you're going to sign him to the 53. Nobody's going to do that right now.
Right.
What would you do? You can actually put veterans on the practice squad too, according to what Phil just said. I didn't read the whole book on that. I didn't know actually veterans after a certain year. After 3 years, I thought it was over. That's why I thought CJ wasn't eligible for the practice squad, but apparently he is. So what would you do with that? You got 4 tight ends. You're not keeping 4 tight ends on the regular roster.
Well, we did last year because we kept
Did we have 4
Kittle,
last year?
Kittle, Selleck, Dwelly, and Toililo.
We did. Actually, I was thinking because Selleck was on the pup the majority of the time.
Right.
But we still had we had actually had 5. 1, 2, 3.
And then actually I think last year, did Jordan Matthews fall under that tight end window or the I forgot what position he was slated at last year. I don't know whether it was wide receiver or what position group he was in.
I'm pretty sure Jordan's always been a tight end that I know of.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, like I said though too. No, I'm talking about Jalen Hurd.
Oh, Hurd.
Last year on the
Hurd.
Squad. Yeah.
Hurd is non-specific. He's like like so many guys Kyle Shanahan's got. He doesn't have a category. He just like
Swiss
Debo's the same way.
Yeah.
Debo's more than a wide receiver too. Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you one thing. It's going to get interesting because yes, we are a Super Bowl contender for some years to come if we can stay healthy and keep it together and keep drafting good players and still replenishing the brand. You know what I'm saying? You've got to do that. I mean, in the game of football. And like I said, this thing with Jordan Reed, I just feel that, what's going on with the COVID situation, I don't really see him. I mean, if he can stay healthy, he can be really a great reward. But if
third down,
it's just a real risk involved.
Yeah, but you keep him on the bench.
Third down and 8 at the goal
and
line.
trot him out on the field. Oh, yeah. Now the DC is in trouble. We got
you got to watch
James,
that too because it's a bunch of defenders. So it is what it is. We'll see.
All right, well, James, good stuff. Great to hear from you too.
Yeah, man.
We'll see you on
Yeah,
Wednesday.
Ronbo. Oh yeah, I ain't been missing your show. I've been listening to it. My wife has kind of got an altered work schedule, so I'm doing a lot with her and the family on the weekend. But I still listen to it, and I'm still right here with you. With anyway, Niner Empire, Niner for life. Be safe, everyone, and we're gonna get football one way or another. Hopefully, it may not be what we want, but something's better than nothing, and we're gonna get back to normal one day. Just trust in God and ourselves, and be safe, and distant. Have a good night, Ronbo. Thank you.
You too, James. Great to hear from you too. Hopefully, I'll see you again this week. All right, night, James.
All right, good night.
God, we're going to appreciate that day in the near future. I hope. They were saying, God, so glad 2020 is done. God, let's get back to what we were doing before. And hey, let's go check on Dollar Bill. Will. Will.
Well, Ronbo, I'm ready now. What's going on?
Oh, well, man, we just signed Jordan Reed, and and we all know that Jordan Reed can play some football, but can Jordan Reed avoid not being sitting on the bench talking about my head, man, it's ringing. I'm having delusions of grandeur. I can't see. Somebody pass me that. Oh, it's hurting. We got to find a way to get a tight end of his caliber out there in the field with George Kittle. But is he the guy? Can he get this done? It's scary.
Well, Ronbo, I believe this pickup is the best low-risk, high-reward pickup of all this. And I'll tell you why. Jordan Reed was the main tight end star in Washington. He was the one that carried he was out there almost every snap. And unfortunately, while he was over there, he got a few concussions. And then over here in San Francisco, you got the greatest tight end in football, George Kittle, who carried most of the load. The only tight end that carried the load for this team. Now that you have these two together, Jordan Reed can give Kittle rest time on the sideline, and Kittle can give Reed less time, some time on the sideline to catch a breather, and this also can decrease Reed's chances of getting concussed because he don't have to be on the field.
Good point.
So,
but and also in combination on them third down plays, well, as a professor, as Rev would say, the DC has got a problem.
Right. Right. And Kyle, and we all know Kyle is pretty aware of his concussion and his history. I believe Kyle will not put Jordan Reed out there a whole lot. He put Reed out there in certain situations, such as third down situations or red down, red zone situations.
That's all. I like that. That's all we need.
But now that you got them two together, it decreases Reed's chance of getting hurt because you don't have to be out there on the field all the time. And this can give Kittle time to take a breather, get his energy back up to get back in and dominate, and then vice versa. So this is perfect, and this is a perfect counterpunch to Jamal Adams going to Seattle. So now Jamal Adams has two
That's what I like
on
about it. What you gonna do now, y'all? Y'all got you got your linebacker, you got Jamal. We've got both Jordan Reed, and both of them require double teaming almost. So now, if you get them out there at the same time, what y'all go do? You go get your butt whooped is what's gonna happen. That's all there is to it.
So basically, what Jamal Adams have to do is pick his poison, because when you have both of them out there at the same time, that's gonna be a problem, and that's a problem for any defense because you gotta look at it now.
Because Debo's running around out there, Trent Taylor's running around out there, and probably Jet McKinnon is running around out there. Now what you gonna do? Jimmy can look at any different. He can go through several progressions now. Ain't covering all of them. It's not possible.
Ronbo, right now, Kyle Shanahan has too many weapons. This is too many now. It's too many. You got Ayuk, Bourne, Debo, Taylor, Hurd, most of Coleman, McKinney. I mean, right now, if a game was going on right now, Kyle Shanahan can have a playbook and have his Xbox controller too. And he play.
He'd be using a joystick from the sideline. I'd love it. Connected to everybody's uniform, wired up so they can hear what he's saying. Hey, in that case, and don't leave my boy Kendrick out of that, because Kendrick's working awfully hard to be a Pro Bowler this year.
Exactly.
I'm telling you, man. Man.
Yeah. So this is perfect. I mean, Jordan Reed coming to this team and knowing that we already have Kittle. This can decrease this can decrease Reed's time on the field and decreases his chances in concussed. So I believe this going to work out. I mean, this is a perfect place for Reed to be right now. So I mean, I love it. I mean, we shouldn't. Right, we shouldn't be concerned. I've been on Facebook and all the other, and I'm seeing a lot of 49 fans. He's gonna get hurt again. Man, he's not doing it by himself. He has Kittle. He's not carrying the load every play. So he not really gonna. His chance of getting hurt is decreased now. So
the lesson they used, the normal.
We should worry about it. Shouldn't worry about it. Kyle knows what's going on. He knows his history. The man had 7 concussions. I mean,
is that how many? Because I didn't know how many he had. 7 concussions. That's a lot. How many? Marquise Goodwin had how many? Somewhere near that number.
I say about 4 or 5. I believe.
For sure, he had 4 or 5.
But he had a few.
Yeah, you can. Man, when these guys get to a certain age, we'll see though.
Yeah,
go ahead.
But with the Dwelly and the Warner situation, I believe them two gonna have to battle it out. Because Kyle Shanahan is not about to give Reed a 1-year deal with incentives for him just to be on the sideline. Yeah. So it's gonna come down to Dwelly and Warner, because Dwelly did he did show some
he showed some sparkle especially when Kittle went out.
Right, but he didn't show too much. So he still has a lot to prove. So with Warner coming in, Dwelly still has to put in some more work for Kyle to put full trust in him to remain on the roster. So I believe Dwelly and Warner is going to have to battle it out. Jordan Reed is a vet, Pro Bowl vet, and Kyle not going to give him that deal with incentives just to be on the sideline. So I believe Jordan Reed is going to bump up automatically, by default to the second tight end spot. And Dwelly and Warner is going to have to battle it out and let the best man win. So that's how I see it.
Yeah, that's just a natural thing right there. Because Dwelly's solid, but you know what you're going to get from Ross. It's not going to be he's only going to take it to a certain point. But Reed can take it past that point. So that's what most people are probably thinking. So it's really, good stuff, fam. I'm gonna see you Wednesday. I'm hoping they're having another. Because I understand the guys aren't going to get on the field for another 10 days. I don't know how they're going to do this and get any work worthwhile in. But anyway, we'll see. We'll see you Wednesday.
All right, man. Shout out to you, Ronbo, man. Appreciate what you do, man.
Thanks, man.
Shout out to my TNT family, player partner Dre, Trey, Big Show, Russo, all them guys, man. Shout out to the Ronbo Sports Fan Club, Rico, Jersey Joe, Russo, Sheik, Sewell, all them guys, man. Hey, man, Super Bowl 55, Tampa Bay, Florida. It will not be the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. No, sir, it will not be. It will be the San Francisco 49ers versus to be announced. All right, man.
I love when you do that, Will. Will's always got a great tag. All right, fam. Have a great night.
All right. You too.
Thanks. And hey, Krusty, come on in here and give us some of that crusty perspective on the Jordan Reed signing. What do you do with Ross Dwelly? And was this a waste of time? And do you have great expectations for a JR future?
Hey, Ronbo, how's it going?
Krusty. I'm anxious about what's going on because you get a talent like Jordan Reed is exciting, but he comes with buying something from the secondhand or a parking lot where they're notorious for selling lemons. It's kind of a scary thought because you want to take advantage of it, but you're worried. If that makes any sense.
Right. Yeah, he's like that fishbowl that's already got cracks in it. One more hit.
You're right. It's going to start leaking. God.
So I got an answer to that question that you guys had in the other thing where they were talking about what do you do with Jordan Reed and George Kittle out there. Well, first thing you do is you hit Jordan Reed, just get him a good pop, and he'll be out of the game, and then all you got to do is worry about George Kittle.
Oh, God.
You know?
I hope he's not that
he's
fragile.
had 6 concussions. The thing
6?
about it is I think he's had 6. But
That's
he's so
too many.
fragile, man. It's like the last couple concussions he had is like he was wiped out for the rest of the season.
Oh.
He didn't even make it to the season last year.
Yeah, that was last year.
You know,
Preseason.
I think Jordan Reed is going to play a backup role, and I honestly think we're going to keep him on the PUP list or something just in case something happens to somebody else. Because you don't put Warner on the practice squad because he's going to get scooped up because he's there for blocking. You know he's going to be there for blocking, and you know he's going to be there for his catching ability too, which is going to be there. Ross Dwelly, he's already been in the system, the newest system that Kyle Shanahan has, so he knows it better than Jordan Reed does. Because Jordan Reed played it, even Tom Compton came in and said it's different, so he doesn't know exactly what it's like. So Ross Dwelly is you don't want to get rid of him. You want to keep Warner. You know, I'd keep Jordan Reed on the PUP or on the bench, you know, have him as a backup just in case something happens. But he's so fragile and stuff. I don't trust it. One good hit on him and he could be out of the game like when Jerry Cook got hit by Witherspoon when we played the Saints, you know?
Yeah.
And then
that was a great hit by Spoon.
From the last couple years, if he's out, he's probably going to be out for the rest of the year, so it's a waste. So
see, that's why I thought about Jason Verrett with this deal. Jason was out immediately. What, week 3? Oh, man.
Right. Now, if he does come in, there is some upside to him because he is a pro ball talent and he is good, but it's like, Duke can't take a hit. He's like, you know, I'd rather have Dante Pettis out there than him.
Ooh, now that's saying something.
In my personal opinion. Because they're similar in like they can't take hits and stuff like that, but he's just too fragile. It's like, you know, what was it? The Cardinals got what's his face a while back. What is it? Abraham? Is that what his name was? And he had the concussion issues too, and then eventually it just got to the point where he just didn't show up anymore because of his issues. And he was done. Concussions are a serious thing, and you know.
And you can't keep stacking them up.
That's not something to mess around with. Right, exactly. And especially since the last one took him out for the full season, and I think the ones before he's out for games and the rest of the season. But I think one time he's played 14 games. I don't think he's ever played a 16-game slate. So
I think 14 might be a stretch. I thought I saw 12. You could be right.
Yeah.
He had a Pro Bowl. He made it to the Pro Bowl that year. And, man.
So he has the ability, but I just don't think it's – I think it's, you know, like they said, it's low risk, but the ceiling's high if he does a good job. But it's a liability, too, you know.
Roster spot. Yeah, you type a roster spot, we don't have roster spots, surplus roster spots is why I'm thinking, well, you know, how's this going to work? Phil lined up how you actually can use a practice squad. Now, Warner could be put on the practice squad, but like you say, a team is smart enough to know, well, they made a mistake with that. Let's just get that right now. No matter what his future potential is, we can put him on our regular roster and make him block for now until we get to see that. Because we know Kyle Shanahan knows what he's doing when it comes to picking out tight ends. So, you know,
Right. Yeah, but even then, Charlie Warner on one side, George Kittle on the other side blocking with friggin' Kyle Juszczyk in the back. Our run game's going to be freaking sweet. You're not putting him on the practice squad, you know. Ross Dwelly will go there before, but you're not even going to put him in there because he knows the playbook better than anybody else.
Yeah,
you know,
that's a solid point.
And even then, he's not going to be tight end too, not with the head as fragile as his. You know, like Will said before, he's going to be a situational player if he's on the roster. We'll keep 4 tight ends if we're going to keep. We're not going to get rid of Dwelly. We're not going to get rid of Warner. We're not going to get rid of Kittle's obviously going to stay there. Jordan Reed comes on. He's going to be a situational player. You know, they won't even put him in for special teams. He'll be like you were saying, third down. You need somebody out there, but if Charlie Warner comes out and plays really well, Ross Dwelley comes out and plays really well, Jordan Reed's going to go to the IR or PUP list or freaking. I doubt. Let's see if he makes it through training camp first. You know,
I know.
Our defense might give him a good hit.
There's no contact, I don't think, in training. Well, it's mild contact, I suspect. They've got to hit at least a couple of times before going into the regular season, though.
Right.
He won't.
They're going to put pads on towards the end, I hear.
Yeah, the players' union actually insisted you can't just come out there and start putting on pads. They got to go out at least 10 days, from what I remember reading, with no pads.
Yeah. Right, exactly. But you know, you're not going to put any of the tight ends. You know, Warner, Dwelley, and Kittle are going to make the team. Reed, if he makes it through training camp, will make the team, but he's only going to be a situation where he's not taking the tight end 2 spot. There's no way. There's no way, because one good hit on him and he's out, and then that's a wasted roster spot.
It is.
You know?
And no phone calls to make unless you reconvert now Jalen Hurd into that tight end. So, Kyle doesn't want to do that.
If you do that, we don't need Jordan Reed at all.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing.
Put Jalen Hurd in there at the tight end.
Do we really need Jordan Reed? Good stuff, Krusty. I mean, observations that make sense. All right. Let's
even then, Juwan Jennings could be tight end too. There's no reason for Jalen Hurd. It's a wasted roster spot.
I know.
Right? They're all the right size to take that spot.
I don't know what to
think.
We
want to talk about another one.
We're gonna see. What you bring up gives pause to a lot of why did they do this? I mean, it's a good. Chris, let's see you Wednesday. All right.
Okay. All right.
All right, man. Have a good night.
All right. Later.
Yeah. Okay. So it starts off with Clarence and Ross Dwelley. It goes to Phil saying you put people on the PUP list, and now. Could Jordan Reed be being brought in for just tight end depth? Why would you do that? We have guys that can actually back George up in a way that aren't exactly tight ends, and Jalen Hurd, even Big Jennings could be used in the same capacity. Jordan Reed is a star, but he's like an egg. Humpty Dumpty. You may make me his other name. Dion! Maybe that's Dion. Shed some light on this. Hey, D.
Ronbo, what's going on, brother?
The dilemma, fam. Jordan Reed, is it a good thing, a ridiculous thing, a bad thing, or a must-do? Everybody's brought up points so far. A lot of pros and cons so far. What are you thinking?
Here's the simplest thing about this, Ronbo. This was all for depth. The thing is Jordan Reed ain't coming in taking nobody's jobs. Okay? Be honest with you. Here's the thing. If you have Ross Dwelley there, if you go into the season, there's going to be 3 tight ends on the roster. It'll be Ross Dwelley, George Kittle, and Jordan Reed. If he's healthy. You'll most likely see Warner wind up on the practice squad. We'll stash him there because we picked him up strictly for blocking purposes. If you look at the guy's career in college, that's what he did. There was not much else to him. You didn't see a bunch of catches. You didn't see a bunch of touchdowns. He was at Georgia. He made sure that runner got where they needed to go.
But D, can I just hold it right there, though? Because the thing is, George Kittle was kind of brought in with the same reasoning.
But here's the difference with George Kittle. They knew his potential. And they knew what they wanted to develop George into. Like I said last time.
Kyle kind of said the same thing about Warner, though. Remember he said, if I just wanted him to come in and block, I could have drafted another offensive lineman. All right, but go ahead. Continue with your point. I want to see where you're going with this. All right, go ahead.
But see, here's the thing. George's dad was an offensive lineman, so that's why George can block the way he can block. They saw the potential in George to be a pass catcher, so they may see the potential in Warner to be a pass catcher as well. He might be a dual threat guy. But the thing is look at it like this. Am I going to bring in a rookie who doesn't know the system and put him above 3 guys who played in my system, 2 guys one who's the best tight end in football. The other one flourishes in the system because he knows it well enough, and we can go ahead and put him in at fullback if Juice ever goes down. And then the other guy, he was there while I was in Washington, so I already know what he can do, and I know he's a possible Pro Bowler. It just there's nothing that adds up to the point where Warner makes this active roster. Warner is a depth piece, and so is Jordan Reed. I like Reed, but Reed, like Jason Verrett, cannot stay healthy. All the talent in the world just can't stay on the field. Is it unfortunate? Yes. Is it a reality? Yes. So you have to do what you have to do. But what I would say is it's really going to be 3 tight ends on the roster, Reed, Dwelly, and Kittle. Kittle's going to be the starter. You'll see George Kittle, mark my words, George Kittle will take more of a receiving tight end role. You will start to see him look a little more like Travis Kelce and less like the blocking tight end George Kittle. They are going to delegate that blocking to someone else. That was the main reason that you first saw them draft Warner. They're trying to make sure they alleviate as much pressure off of him, because here's the thing: if George Kittle comes out and has a monster year, and we ain't paid that man, it's only going to drive his price through the roof. Which is why I'm hoping and praying. I'm hoping and praying to God that Parag is not being cheap when it comes to George, because I love Parag to death for all of the outs that he puts in the contract. But for Christ's sake, sometimes he's just too goddamn frugal, and I'm going to leave it at that because I say something else, but I piss a lot of people off.
No, but you know what? You're right, because here's the thing. If George doesn't get a contract now, what are the risks George wants to take? Now, he said he's not going to sit out, but the thing is, if he gets hurt, teams around the league that are willing to pay him the bank would then not be interested because George is hurt. This is a very, very slippery slope that the 49ers have to be careful with, or things could really turn to crap real quick. But go ahead.
Yeah, and you don't want that, because you don't want your star tight end having any kind of issues. And once again, this is all George Kittle's agent. George loves football. And he loves to play
He's
football.
coming out.
He loves
ain't going to sit out.
And that's just how he is. So you won't catch him doing all of that. And then at the same time, he's a smart person. He knows if he goes out there and he balls out, comes up with 10 touchdowns and another 1,000-yard season, he's going to break the bank. I mean, it's real simple. A lot of people, when we first started talking about George's contract, what were we saying? Oh, man, we're going to have to pay him 16, 17, 18, 19 million. We've got to pay him like a receiver. No, we're not going to pay George that kind of money, because when you reset the tight end market, the tight end market max is like 10, close to 11 mil at a max. So what do? You give George probably about 12 or 13, but you're not going to reset it by giving him wide receiver money, because no other tight end is going to get that bread. I guarantee you other franchises will look at their star tight ends and go, don't
come in here with that.
Anywhere near what George. Yeah.
Ertz, all the dudes, even Kelsey, Travis, hey, can I get a hike in pay? Travis, what? Well, no, I'm hanging up the phone. You're right. So he will set the standard, much like Mahomes. Nobody's going to get. What quarterback's going to Dak? No. What quarterback's going to get Mahomes money? Nobody. That's it. This will never happen again.
Lamar. Lamar could.
Yeah, you got me there. Lamar is not the arm quarterback that Patrick is, but he's valuable though. Maybe, but how long can you run like that?
You're right. Pat's got a better arm, but what I'm saying is when you have a dual threat QB like Lamar, he may not get the $504 million max, but I could see them signing him to a ridiculously long-term deal to keep him there. And what you'll do is you'll see him do what every other running quarterback did as far as their career goes. As the career moves on, they run less.
And that's why I'm saying, how many years are you talking? Can he run like that? Anyway, he's.
I get Lamar at least another 5 years running like that. I ain't gonna lie.
And give him but would you give him a 10-year contract like Patrick got?
No, I wouldn't give anybody a 10-year contract. I don't care who it is. Jimmy wouldn't get a 10-year contract out of me.
I know, hell no.
Nope.
None of these guys. I don't know a 40-year-old quarterback, because I don't know what his body's going to do. You know.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I mean, I to be honest with you, I think if you give George a 4 to 5 year deal and give him at least like 30 mil guaranteed, he'll bite. It's easy.
Yep. I agree. That would be fair, too. D, I tell you what, I'm going to see you Wednesday. I'm hoping to have another presser or some activity in camp because I know it's going to be fun this week. Good stuff. And I love, we have, our family comes in and tilts things one way or the other way. This is just great discussion. So, D, I'll see you later on in the week.
All right, Ronbo, appreciate what you do. Thank you for the platform. Continue to do what you do.
Thanks.
Continue. If y'all out there, man, and y'all listening, hit that like, hit that subscribe button. And even if y'all out there hating in the chat, go and hit the like and subscribe button. You spend enough time in here, you might as well go ahead and boost the numbers since you in the chat hating because you know the 49ers are the best and Ronbo's the best. And
Thanks.
you ain't got nothing better to do with your night than to come hang out with us.
I got to check and see if Texas Boy is a subscriber. I never thought about that. Been in here more than I have. D,
right.
Thanks, fam. Appreciate you. Hit up Deion
night,
Johnson. You see him in the chat. Click up D. He knows football and 49er football. All right, D. Talk to you later, fam.
Good night.
And this not just in, but this from just in from Barack O'Niner. Big Show hates picking up Jordan Reed. I find that I thought Big Show loved all offensive players. Hank, come on in, Hank.
Ronbo, my man, how's it going?
Oh, Hank, it's going all right, man. You know, these things come up. We're probably going to see this year after year. Last year was Jason Verrett, just an outstanding football player, but can't stay healthy. And now you got Jordan Reed, another, when he's healthy, he's an outstanding football player, can make all the difference in the world in our offensive attack. It can alter it immediately if he is effective as Jordan Reed. But if he can't stay out there, of course, you know that is going to be, now he's a liability. Hank, your feelings on Jordan Reed being added to the 49er roster, is that a plus for you, or would you have rather done without that?
Ronbo, I think it's a great plus as far as veteran leadership goes, but in my eyes, Ross Doyley is tight end number 2, and this definitely doesn't affect Kittle in any way, shape, or form. But Ronbo, I specifically called. I wanted to get your perspective on these two concepts. Okay, I'm going to try to make it quick. I know I'm short on time, but can we take a moment of silence for the rest of the league, or at least our division, throwing away their entire future to stop one man?
We've had fun with that. We've had fun for that the last few days.
I didn't get a chance to call back then, Roma, but I just want to say the Seahawks, first off, your safety situation was not an issue. You know, your defensive line is horrible without Clowney, which you can't afford. Your offensive line is getting eaten up. Russell Wilson is going to be running for his life for the next 5 years. And matter of fact, if we throw a bluff at Clowney, y'all are going to throw the bank at him. So, I mean, honestly, you guys are doing everything you can to stop Kittle, and you already know how our coach does. When you go right, he goes left.
Yep.
Let's look at the Cardinals. First-round pick, Isaiah Simmons, just to stop Kittle. Just to stop Kittle. First off, your offensive line is, horrible. Your defensive line is atrocious, and you draft a linebacker to stop one man. Okay, let's see how that works out.
First round.
And if the Rams' indication wasn't enough for you, for the Hawks, why would you throw away your future for one defensive player who is not going to make a difference? And we clearly showed you that on 3rd and 16 twice. Twice. Okay? So, I just don't understand. I mean, right now we're laughing at him, Ромbo. We're sitting back and we're laughing.
And it's a good hard laugh. It's a belly laugh. Hank, I got into an argument with the Seahawks fan just a little while ago because he says, well, it's not a silly, because I call his GM silly. It's not a silly movie when you got low first-round picks. It doesn't matter. You really think you're going to be a low first-round pick giveaway for 2 straight years in a row? That's not only stupid, but that's arrogant and pretty ignorant to be. You don't know what you're going to do this year. What you could be the top 5 pick next year for all you know. You don't give away first-round picks. You need a quarterback sometime soon. You got rid of 2 first-round picks for the next 2 years. Why don't you think about the possibility of using those first-round picks for something that makes sense? And you gave away a 3rd round.
And Robert,
Hawks
the funny
fans
thing is,
go ahead. God, I get
You know, the
started.
funny thing is, after we get through with the Seahawks, they're going to be wishing they had those first-round picks, okay? And they're going to be realizing Jamal Adams isn't doing jack to us. So, you know, right now, as a Niner, it's funny just to sit back and watch all these teams making moves while we're making small moves for small positions that we need. We needed a backup tight end. We signed Jordan Reed.
Yep.
You know, and
That's
John
what
Lynch
you
is my GM, but, man, I'm calling you on your bluff. You tried to get Jamal. You know, it didn't work out. You know, once they mentioned more than one first-rounder, yeah, we're out of the picture.
We're
You already
smart.
know how our GM works. We're not throwing away our future for a player. Number two, my second point I wanted to bring out to you. Ronbo, I was kind of happy that we had one position on our team that wasn't stacked, okay, and that was tight end. Now that position is stacked too, so I guess we're going to be debating all summer about what we're going to be doing about tight end. But, Ronbo, I want to list off my receivers to you because I'm worried. I don't know about you, but I am.
I have been.
I'm really liking some of the kids we got, but we're not keeping this many wide receivers.
Nope.
Ronbo, number one, Deebo Samuel, Trent Taylor, Travis Benjamin, Kendrick Bourne, Dante Pettis, Richie James, my underdog player, Sean Poindexter, who's coming back, Brandon Ayuk, Jalen Hurd, and one of my favorite draft picks, Jawan Jennings.
That's 10.
Ronbo, that's a stacked wide receiver core.
All of them are good. Probably, I haven't seen enough of Poindexter, but potentially all of them are good. And Richie James has his function. And Dante Pettis is probably the best route runner we have, but he has other issues. Hank, where are you going to cut the fat?
Ronbo, and for me, if you're asking me, Richie James, you're not doing too much for us, man. We've had you for a minute. You're a good kid and all, but you know you're a practice squad player, in my opinion. You know,
9.
at kick return. I mean, I can't tell you how many times I was pissed off when I saw his hand just waving for a fair catch.
The ball's just coming off coming off the punter's foot. It's just coming off the tee.
There was this one play against the Seahawks. I think it was the second time we played them. The ball didn't even. I mean, there was nobody in front of Richie, and I seen him call for the fair catch. I said, "Rich, you got to at least try, man." Like, no, I'm tired of that. Okay, so I've seen enough of that. So that's got to go. And honestly, I don't see too much prospect as a receiver for him. We got too many dogs. We got too many dogs.
Okay, so that's
Richie's out.
That's 9. You got 9 left. All right, go ahead.
Dante Pettis, I love you, man, but I just don't see it. You know, I don't see any dog in you. If I could get a 4th-round pick out of you, I'd get it. You know, right now. If someone offered me a 4th or a 5th, I'd probably take it. So, my third one, Travis Benjamin, man. I've seen some of his highlights. I like what the guy did for the Chargers, but like I said, we got too many dogs. I think we're better off. Trent Taylor is,
That's 7 if you want to stop Taylor. There. Kyle may keep 7 this year, but go ahead.
I think we're good with 7. 8, 7 at most. 8 at most, but 7 I can see. Trent Taylor, no, I'm keeping this kid. He was Jimmy's best friend when he first came out.
Absolutely.
He's had a bad rap as far as injuries goes, but I'm not losing faith in him. He's shown me something. Dante, even from the little I've seen of Trent Taylor, you got to understand, when Jimmy Garoppolo played those 5 games for us, Trent Taylor, within those 5 games, he became the number 1 receiver on 3rd down in the league.
Absolutely.
I'm not sure if many people remember that, but this man was the number 1.
That slant he runs, nobody ran a slant that year better than Trent Taylor. The guy's awesome.
Nobody. And when we play the Seahawks, this guy's got a dog in him. I'm pretty sure you've seen this play, Ronbo. There was this play where the ref threw a flag on the Seahawk play. Trent dogged this man, and he got up and he pushed him. And
Trent went over, and after he threw him on the dirt, Trent was walking toward him like he's getting ready to really put some ass.
He was slapping in his face. In his face. I said, yeah. I'm pretty sure that's the game Nick Mullins beat Russell Wilson. The big bad Russell Wilson. Yeah, yes. my backup quarterback. Yeah.
Hank, we got to go. I'll be back Wednesday looking for you. All right?
Ronbo, great talking to you as always, man. You be safe out there.
You too. All right. Night, Hank. Yes, indeed. Hey, Dave.
What's going on, my brother?
Dave, man, we're sitting back here tripping on.
How you been doing?
Oh, great. How you been doing?
Hey, hanging in there, my guy.
All right.
Listen to this discussion. It's been a very interesting discussion, man. Jordan Reed.
Lots of perspective on this one. Where you at on this? Because like Jordan is he a fake? Are we really bringing him in to get some work done? Because we know his history. Or are we going to get rid of somebody for Jordan? Is that a risk or not?
Let me ask you this, because I don't know if I heard this. How's his blocking? I don't recall.
Yeah, somebody else wrote that in chat.
Pass catching.
Can Jordan?
How's his blocking?
I don't
Can
know.
He block? I don't know a lot about that, because if he's not a big blocker, I think we have the blocker. Think about Dwelly as your poor man's Kittle, your poor man's Juice. He's going to be the backup. He's versatile. He's not the impact player that you're going to see with Jordan Reed.
And he knows the current system too.
Warner's going to be something like your Toyoloyo, like you say his name from last year, the big blocker. I think. I don't know. He might come in and surprise. And like when Kittle came in, I don't know if he's going to have that potential like that. I don't know, because remember last year we had a kind of Levine was strictly for blocking. He'll get a catch, luckily, here and there, but he was a blocking, and they kept 3. I don't know if he'll make the roster, man, given, with Jordan Reed. Jordan Reed, he's like everybody's been saying, man, if he makes it, it's a wonderful thing. But here's what I don't want to happen. I don't want to get used to having Jordan Reed out there for 4 or 5 games. He's an impact player, and then something happens, he gets hurt. That's going to hurt me more than anything else.
Great point.
That's going to break my heart.
Again, another great point.
Then you come out. He comes out there and he balls out. Him and Kittle, they run the 22 offense. They got 2 running backs. They got Juice in there. They could have McKinnon in there. They could have Mostert. They could have Jordan Reed, Kittles, and they have Debo out there.
It's sick because Kyle's been running 21 for how long? And we've been doing okay with that. But you put Kyle at 22. Oh, because he did that in Atlanta a lot. And then all of a sudden.
And then he breaks my heart. Then he gets the hell knocked out of him.
And we got to do without.
And then I'd rather never have him and not know the saying you can't miss what you never had. I'd rather do that than get him, and everybody's gonna be saying, "Damn, what if we had Jordan Reed?" Because it's a long season, man. It's a grind, and all this.
And we'll use that for an excuse too.
Jordan Reed was there. Kittle gets hurt, something happens. We need depth, and I think at the end of the day, it's a positive thing, my brother. I think it's a positive thing. Somebody, I think a caller said it. All the depth that we have in all these key positions, I think, is going to help us. It's a long season, Ronbo.
Yeah.
It's a long season. Those 2 or 3 games when they have Kittle, think about if we had Jordan Reed against Seattle. Those big third down catches, Boom, those young boys dropping balls, not wanting to go across the middle. Jordan Reed catches those balls. This got veteran 3rd and 10 presence, man. This guy makes some big plays, man. And Kyle knows that. That's why he's going to give him a chance.
Dave,
so I feel good about it.
To answer the blocking question, though, I think so, because Kyle worked with him as a rookie, so he knows he's going to have to block. And he probably learned how.
He's big. He's 6'3", 245. I looked him up. He ran a 4.75, third-round pick. Yeah. I mean, I think they say Kyle would love to have that Gronk and Hernandez type duo again. He could have something like that.
Oh, man.
Have him and, that type of versatility, because Jordan Reed, that's why I wanted to ask the question about the blocking. If he can block and he runs those up the seam. He loves those seams, kind of like Hernandez used to do.
That's why I get on
right up the seam.
But and he was doing that years ago, though. Well, the thing is, he was doing that years ago.
30 years old.
But the thing is, now the rules have changed, so you can't hit a defenseless receiver, as they put it. So he was probably getting clocked when it was okay to clock somebody cutting across the middle of the field.
That's a good point.
So he may survive.
He's a positive.
Yeah.
He's a positive. I think bringing him in is a positive. They're probably not paying a bunch of money. It's a highly incentivized deal, I'm sure.
Yep.
So he'll get in. Somebody said it earlier. He's not responsible for his playing and being the go-to guy. He can go in there and do some play, some schemes or whatever for him, and not be so stretched. But I think overall, Cal knows what he's doing. I've learned we got to trust our leadership. He's proven that he can make some decisions. He knows what he knows. Sometimes he's more stubborn, some decisions that he's made probably in drafts. When he sticks to them, you're what's my guy? Bethard, CJ, those guys.
On player personnel, him and John.
Kevin Coleman, those
let's
guys.
go back to Solomon Thomas.
At some point. Solomon Thomas.
Ruben
all those
Foster.
picks. Think about that draft. All those picks. Ruben Foster. Ruben Foster. I see why he got Ruben. Ruben was a steal.
Ruben was a bad man. But we didn't know he was a damn fool.
He was a bad man.
But you can't
know he's a fool. Come on.
You can't interview somebody and really see that there's something wrong with them.
Who would think he would do that? Who would think he would do all that? He
Nobody.
Didn't play well. He got hurt. Hey, he's just a bad pick.
Dave,
blame him. He was an amazing college player.
But the thing is, Dave, we've never had a dude that had that many problems with his lady. Ruben is a first. I've never heard of such a thing.
He's crazy. Who would think? The stuff you wouldn't even imagine happening. That's what it wasn't meant to be. It wasn't meant to be.
We gotta go, Dave. It's late night. I'm gonna see if let me see if Wednesday we get a chance. It's always great to hear from you. I haven't heard from you in a while.
All right, my brother. I'll talk to you later. Yeah,
Looking forward.
man. We'll talk soon, man. Take care. I'll try to get you Wednesday. All right,
you too,
brother.
Dave. Night.
All right, man.
Yeah.
All right, bye.
And there's a Big Show. Big Show. Big Show, thanks for the contribution. Big Show starts off by saying, don't listen to anything JJ says. I'm cautiously optimistic about Reed, given his health. I prefer they had traded for Njoku. I'm with you on that show. Front office wanted someone equally as talented to George and went after Hooper in free agency. So you know what? The show is talking about the thinking that was going on in that front office. They wanted somebody who could offset Kittle and almost be his equal. Now, nobody's going to be his equal, but you need to be somewhere in there. So there you go. Good point, Show. Great point. Rick.
What's good, sir? What's good, man?
Rick, I wish I knew, Rick. I wish that this was like fast forward 1 year from now, and we could say things. Well, hey, remember we was talking about Jordan Reed, and we'd say, "Oh, what are the 49ers doing? Is this a good idea?" But look at this. We got the ring. We got the ring. And it was because of Jordan. Yes.
We got the ring.
Kyle.
We got the ring.
But right now, we're speculating, Rick, is this a good idea? Because if he takes up a roster spot and has a seat on the IR, that's what you call making a mistake.
Right.
Then again, and you got to be careful who you get rid of, because you got Warner, that's people have already put on the practice squad. You got Dwelly, who's solid, but he's not a star. He can just work. He's serviceable. You got George, and that's it. There's one more guy we got, and you got we can actually convert to a tight end possibly, in Jalen Hurd. But there's so many variables here. Rick, your perspective on this, though.
I know a lot of people are talking about Jordan Reed and his concussion. And I know it's definitely something you would need to be concerned about. But my thing is also, think about it. Who's he playing for? He's playing for the Washington Redskins. They're trash. And every year everybody has it hyped up for the team, whatever. And pretty much by the fourth or fifth game of the season, if you pretty much have a good season going ahead. And a lot of times after a while, so it's like, if there's no incentive to come back and play, then, look at Trent Taylor. Look, Trent, who we just got? Our tackle.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't want to come back and play for Trent Williams. He didn't want to come back and play for the Redskins. He was like, man, they're trash. Why should I risk myself? And I think that's the same thing with
Reed.
Who are we going to get right? Jordan Reed. And the thing about it is, can you imagine, dude, if we have Kittle on one side, Reed on the other side, 5 linemen, we have, at that point, we can have Debo on one side, Ayuk on the other side. And if you put Kittle on the side next to Reed or Reed on the other side, they don't know what we're going to do, because you actually have two people. Because, we have Warner.
Rick, put somebody in the slot. Who you going to put in the slot? You got a choice between Trent Taylor, Kendrick Bourne, Ayuk. You already got Ayuk on the outside. The options are crazy.
The options are crazy, and the thing about it is when you have both of those tight ends, because although we like Warner, we don't know what he's able to do yet as a passing tight end, and we have Dwelly, but Dwelly is not really a good run blocker. And so with Reed and Kittle, you have both. You can get both run and block and run and pass catching as well. So you don't know what's really going to happen. And then I think it's just another chess move, man, because, I mean, we can break the field down now. Now either linebacker has to stay disciplined because we know we can run out of that option two tight end set, or now if you put two tight ends on one side, then it confuses the safeties. I mean, it'll hold both. Because at that point, now you got, say for instance, Seattle. Now Jamal Adams, whoever their other tight end, their safety is, now they have to guard both, and then that means that pretty much you have one-on-one with the receivers versus the cornerbacks. So I mean, there's so many formations that we can run out of that. Look what happened when we used to have. When we had Vernon Davis and Delaney Walker, or Patriots had Aaron Hernandez and Gronk. We can have something similar to that, man, where we're able to do a lot of things where we can act like we're going to stay in. Like Kittle act like he's about to stay in to help block or whatever the case may be, and then he just leak out. He leaks out behind the linebacker or whatever. Because, I mean, at that point, most linebackers can't, I don't care, Isaiah Simmons or whoever, none of these linebackers really can hang with Kittle like that. And so it's so many things that it's almost going to be to the point where it's not going to be fair. I promise
I know, right?
It's not going to be fair. It's not going to be fair, man. I'm looking for it. I mean, I know people are kind of poo-pooing on Jordan Reed, but I at least want to see what he can do, man. At least let's see what he can do first, because his upside is definitely something that should intrigue every one of us. And like I said before, if we can already have that dynamic prior to what we already have, even with the running game, our passing game, man, it's going to be laughable. Like it's going to be like, come on, man. Now we're just picking on people. We're like, man, stop. Call off the dogs, man. I mean,
Nick Mullins,
it's not fair anymore.
Mullins coming in the game midway through the fourth quarter. We're not even going to wait the last couple of minutes. The game's already out of hand.
Right. Exactly. So I expect. I mean, I think it's going to be a good thing. Like I said before, we had no kind of Warner. We pretty much have him kind of designated for a practice squad. Then again, you never know. He can come in and ball and show us something, whatever the case may be. The only person I'm kind of, I guess, would be concerned about would be Ross Dwelly. But the thing is, he's more of a passing tight end. He's not that good in run blocking. And so we need somebody, so, you know what I'm saying, that can help out as well. Because, we run the ball. We're a running team. So, but I'm all for it. Like you said, it's not like it's going to break the bank. I know somebody was talking about Njoku, but Njoku, he's young. And you think, if we haven't paid Kittle, you don't think that Njoku's going to want to come in here?
You come in here talking about I'm taking no pay cuts and no incentive deals. That's true.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, so, I mean, we need to do what we need to do to bring in guys that actually want to come here. We like little rentals or whatever, continue to develop our rookies and draft picks, whatever, and that's the way to go, because we don't want to have a team, especially a bunch of old players that are signed for a long period of time, because that's what we had before. We had to go through and do the roster turnover and get a bunch of those older players out of here and get fresh young players in, fresh legs, whatever the case may be, and build it up all over again. So I'm on board with it, because it's just a 1-year rental. Yeah. It's just a 1-year rental.
And it's an incentive-laden contract, so I'm pretty sure it's a minimum contract at that. Good stuff,
right.
Rick.
Right. I'm telling you, it's going to be happening. Look what we did last year with a 1-year rental with our dude who went over to Emmanuel Sanders. Emmanuel Sanders. He helped out. Emmanuel Sanders.
He wasn't a 1-year deal, though. He was on a rookie contract, I think. Anyway.
No, Emmanuel Sanders. He was just with the Saints.
I'm thinking Mosley. I'm thinking Mosley.
No. Emmanuel Sanders, he's not with the Saints. Yeah. But the thing about it is, look, we're gonna take the by storm. I know I gotta go. Hey, they say wash your hands, put on the mask. I know it's inconvenient, but do that just for a little bit. We're going to get through the season. I'm telling you right now, Super Bowl 55, we win it all. Super Bowl, Jimmy G, Super Bowl MVP, not a faithful, not an empire. I'm out, man.
All right, Rick. Good stuff. I'll see you Wednesday.
See you Wednesday. Bye.
And Irma Cortez, I like that. You call me Reverend Ron. I do get off into my tangents in sermons, though, until you know what gets me going? It's the Hawks. I hate to admit it, but when I go to Twitter, there's a Hawks fan almost daily now coming at me. Don't at me. If I just saw general peace, I can ignore it, but don't at me. All right, Ronbo Sports. Here, Ronbo, man, blah, blah, blah. What? Boy, please. I gotta go Ocho on him, you know? Child, please. All right, bang, Mel.
Yeah, double bang gold game, Jersey 9. It was good.
You know, Mel, I'm glad you called in tonight on this matter because I know you have a spin on Jordan Reed. In the beginning, I forgot all about Ross Dwelly and how many tight ends we're currently carrying. And then I thought about it for a minute. I said, wait a minute. Jordan Reed is not a promise. His history says he is not to be relied upon too heavily. And we've had another few things said here. How are you feeling about the Jordan Reed deal?
I said, yeah. They said the same thing about Jimmy Ward. I had to argue with the Niner Empire for years about everybody saying, nah, just get rid of Jimmy Ward. He's trash. He's always hurt. He's never going to be anything. And John Lynch came in, and he said exactly what I've been saying the whole time. Listen, I understand that he's dealt with injuries, man. We get that. But this is a physical sport. It happens. And John Lynch said himself, I dealt with injuries early on. I know other legends that have dealt with injuries early on in their careers. But once they got it together and they figured everything out, man, these guys were great. So we saw that with Jimmy Ward. I think we're going to see the same thing here, man. The dude, I think he's going to be reliable. And it's just, Jimmy has too many toys in his toy chest right now. I don't know, man. Defenses have to pick their poison straight up. We already had a lot of weapons, but adding this guy, it's nothing nobody's going to be able to do. They are D-E-D dead.
Mel, you bring that up.
D-E-D dead. I said it.
I just want to know, though, Mel, Jordan Reed, he lasts the whole season because he's probably going to be using sparingly in special spots. He does a good job. Come next year, we're still struggling to sign George Kittle. Do we become the Patriots next year and say, Jordan, thank you very much. Enjoy your ring. We're not going to be able to continue with you because you're now worth a lot of money, but you will get paid somewhere. Jordan Reed now gets cast out, or do you keep him? Because him and Kittle were such a good combo. And what are you going to pay him? I'm looking ahead on that. Just touch upon it if you want.
Yeah, that's a good question, man. Nah, I don't think. I don't know. Depending on the season that he has, his contract is incentive laden anyways. Yep. That's another reason why I think he's going to be very successful because he's going to want to get paid. But so the thing about next year is we have a whole bunch of guys that we need to sign. So Jordan Reed he's not on the front of that bus, man.
Yeah.
At least as of right now, he's not on the front of that bus at all. We have a lot of working parts that we need to pay
so
next year.
Is a bona fide 1-year rental. All right.
Not necessarily. It depends on what his price is next year. Now, if he comes in feeling like he's in George Kittle's shoes, where he can come in and say, look, man, I need 10, I need 11. If he's trying to talk like that, then it's, nah, bro, you got to hit the road.
Yeah.
But if he's coming in willing to work something out, then that's a lot different. But I think that depending on what we do this year, man, it may be a situation where not just him, but a lot of the guys that we have to sign, they may come into it like, look, man, we want to do something special. We want to repeat. We want to go back to back. So we can all take incentive-laden contracts. Just make sure we hit our incentives and we're good. We get a certain amount guaranteed. What I said, and, I can't officially say this, but I think we should go old school with it, like Eddie DeBartolo style with Kittle. look, Kittle, this is what we're going to do, my bro. We're going to sign you on this deal here, but come to my office after practice. We got a $30 million check for you right now. We just can't put it on the books, but we're going to get it to you somehow. We'll get it to your parent. I don't know. We're going to go old school with it, though. We got to do this. We got to do some of this contract off the books. You just can't get caught doing that.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
But,
just got to be careful. Yeah.
Oh, no doubt.
Yeah. But, and I see what you're talking about. And I can see the 49ers. But with Parag, I wonder if he has that kind of expertise. Can Parag actually go rogue on that kind of a thing? Because he seems like such a straight man to me. I could be wrong. Looks could be deceiving.
He couldn't. Yeah, Parag ain't doing that.
Yeah.
That's what I think. Jed York or even I don't know, man. Like I said, just go Eddie B style. Get somebody else.
And take George into The Godfather.
Right. You can't pay him cash, like straight up cash.
Yeah.
Or just call him to the office and just have a gym bag full of cash one day. Like, here, bro. Go put this under your mattress. You good. We got you. We can't put it on the books, but we got you, bro.
Oh, man.
Nah,
but
I'm
it's
just
gonna be
playing, y'all.
It's going to be an interesting year, though. I'm trying to understand if Jordan how he's going to be deployed. Real quick, how are you going to deploy Jordan? Because now, 21, Kyle doesn't have to stick to that regimen the whole game now. Could be 2-2 now. What do you think?
Yeah, well, I mean, Jordan coming from the Redskins, first of all, they were just dumpster can juice anyways. But he was also he was the premier guy, Pro Bowler and everything, so he's carrying the load. He doesn't have to shoulder the load here. Not any one of our guys has to shoulder the load because we have so many pieces and so many weapons. So that's going to be able to keep a lot of these guys fresh as well. And it's going to be mainly about matchups. So there are going to be times where, maybe Raj Dwelly's up there, who's going to be used versus this defense, as opposed to, okay, we're playing these guys, we're going to use Jordan Reed.
See, matchups is always Kyle Shanahan's things. He looks out there and sees the weakest link.
Yep.
And he'll sick his dogs on that poor individual over and over. So that's what's going to happen.
And that keeps everybody guessing because you never know who's coming to punch you in the face that week. You never know. You never know what the game plan for. So whoever you game plan for, it could be a situation where you could game plan for Tevin Coleman, but you got Mostert in there. You could game plan for Mostert, and you got McKinnon in there. Like, that's how Kyle's mind works. Whatever you think he's going to do, he's not doing that.
And we got so many guys you can game plan for.
Take it away.
Exactly. And we got so many guys you can game plan for all you want to. It's a moot point. There's nothing. Yeah. So, good stuff.
Yeah, we got too many weapons, bro.
Yeah. Mel, I'm going to see you Wednesday, man. All right.
Yes, sir. I will be here Wednesday.
And stay out of harm's way out there.
Baby. I am the harm, Ronbo. I am the harm out here.
I like it. Mel's got antibodies anyway. He ain't going to catch nothing. All right, Mel.
All right, Ronbo.
See you this
I already got the COVID. I just beat up on it.
I'm delighted. Now the body's ready for it. It can't even bother you no more. All right, fam.
No doubt.
Have a good evening.
Ronbo.
Thanks, Mel.
You too.
And I was going to tell you, John V.
My man, Ronbo, what's happening, brother?
John, we're just enjoying the fact that 49ers are always keeping us on our toes, like John Lynch is always saying. Stay awake, faithful. John did it again. But this one is kind of a scary thing. Last year about Jason Verrett, I remember we were all pumped up, and we got our feelings hurt come Game 3 against the Steelers. Now we got Jordan, who has a similar issue with health, and there's reason to get all pumped up about Jordan. Somebody wrote down, and I didn't even know, in 14 games, the Reed child, 11 TDs. That's
I think that was 2015.
So I'm saying, man, I really wish this guy could work out because now anybody that thinks like they do in Seattle, well, we've got a guy in here now that we think that can contain part of the offensive attack. And, well, will maybe not contain George Kittle, but we do think Jamal Adams can at least slow him down. And listen, guys, with your efforts, all you did was release some more power. Now you got George. Can he handle Jordan and George? I don't think so. These are the things that you start to fantasize, John. Is this going to work out? What is this going to do? Is it a good move?
I don't know. I mean, here's the thing. He's not going to be able to stop both of them, but he'll probably hurt Jordan first. Okay? So if that happens, we're screwed. I'm not impressed by this pickup, Ronbo, and for maybe two reasons. A, we still haven't signed George Kittle.
Yeah, that's bothering everybody.
Kittle has almost 3,000 yards and 3 years in the league, and Jordan Reed has 6 years in the league with like 3,300. So he's clearly outperformed Jordan Reed by 3 years, okay? And not for nothing, I don't know how Jordan Reed was utilized in the system that he was in Washington. But again, Kyle's familiar with him. So Kyle brings in players that he's familiar with, that he's utilized in the system, and he likes to do these things, right? So I get it. I see where he wants familiar. I feel like he wants players that are familiar with him and the way that he manages a team. So
less is the learning curve.
I don't know, Rumble.
Yeah.
I don't know that I'm crazy about the pickup. I kind of like Delaney Walker over Jordan Reed, if you want to be honest.
Yeah, you know what, though? They went after Delaney on a sly. They did. I don't know what Delaney said. They never got back to us on that. They just said they put forth a light effort. I don't know what that means to attain Delaney, and then we never heard anything more about it.
I mean, not for nothing, Ronbo. I like depth. A few callers said that we now have depth in the tight end position. That's great. I mean, that's great. I still want to know what we're doing with the rookie though. And we're tossing around Dwelly like he's a used pair of jeans. Like, what are we gonna do with this guy? You know what I mean? I mean, the poor guy. I mean, he's not as physical as Warner, from what I gather. Like Warner is he's a more blocking tight end.
Yeah.
If that makes any sense. So I mean. I guess this is what we'll figure out: who Kyle wants and where he wants him. So I mean, if there's a practice spot open or a practice squad spot open for Warner to stay put. Am I understanding this correctly this year? Are we going to be able to move pieces around from the practice squad to the active roster, so on and so forth?
And you don't have to put it through
do
waivers.
That as much as you please.
Yeah. Don't have to put it through waivers and put it right back on the PC or PS. And And we get up to 16 people on the squad, which I didn't even know. That's a lot of bodies you can stack over there. It's good.
Sure, absolutely. So that gives us some wiggle room, and I guess Kyle's probably kind of happy about that because he can move players to the practice squad, bring them on. That's pretty cool. I guess that might be nice to see how you can work in certain players and how they're going to do. Yeah. I mean, when you first heard that Jordan Reed got a 1-year deal, Rumble. What were your feelings on that? Well, how did you perceive it?
Well, we had this conversation a few weeks ago. Somebody said Jordan Reed. I said, isn't Jordan Reed the guy that's like got 1 foot in the grave? I mean, concussions. I thought about that way back then, but people were adamant about it. And I said, is he expensive? I don't know, guys. So I was done with that.
I mean, he must be relatively cheap, Ronbo, because for you to be flashing money in the face of George Kittle, signing a guy to a 1-year deal, he must not be that. He must not be intimidated because, I mean, the guy, he's not going anywhere, but the guy's got to be cheap. We can't pay the guy off the books because that's tax evasion. That shit just doesn't work.
Well, no, I know, right? This is not Eddie DeBartolo.
Eddie DeBartolo,
we're not based in Vegas.
I'm sure Eddie DeBartolo has some ideas.
Yeah, I know.
And he's probably putting in his 2 cents. But again, we're going to say, hey, Ed, let's just not go back to jail, brother.
Yeah.
Keep everything where it is, man.
Okay. Because the thing is, with George Kittle, they're going to sign him. They just got to dilly-dally around and see what they can get. But the thing is, Jordan Reed, they gave him a box of food stamps or something and said, listen, George, if you can stay on the field all season long, we're going to give you a lot more money than you would imagine. But of course, we need to know from you that you're going to be with us all season long because you're really a risk and you understand that. And there's not 31 other teams asking for you to come in for a physical. So, what can we talk? I think that's the deal they made with them to begin with. Yeah.
I mean, Ronbo, we can't sign guys, but it's got to be an incentive-based deal, right? I mean, he's getting some money.
It is.
He's getting some. It's based on incentives, so that doesn't count against the cap. So I get it. It's a good deal. I mean, I guess so. I don't know much. I don't remember enough. So in 2015, the guy had 11 touchdowns. Fantastic. Where have you been 5 years in the last 5 years?
On the IR.
On the IR. So that doesn't exactly. And the Niners aren't exactly a team known for staying healthy predominantly. We are usually sending players to the IR quite frequently. So
every year.
That doesn't make me feel good. We're already injury prone as it is as an entire squad.
Though.
So bring in some guy like.
But you feel better about a lot of the guys that we send to the IR are usually getting physical injuries, right? All over the body, something's hurt, can't play anymore. Here's a guy that just can't keep from getting extremely big headaches, right? So I always think wow, what are the odds of you coming up with a concussion? Well, most guys go the whole year without getting concussed, right? Unless you're Marquise Goodwin. But I noticed something though, John. Guys who are susceptible to concussions, they keep finding a way to get them. I'd like to say, can you design a special helmet for Marquise Goodwin? Guys like Jordan Reed and guys that just can't stay out of that situation. It's a scary
Jordan
thing.
Reed, Ronbo, he concusses putting the damn thing on. I mean, Goodwin, Goodwin, he doesn't know whether he wants to play football, run track. I mean, that dude's priorities are so messed up. And I get families first, so that's where he's focused.
What? In fact, he's opted out of the season. So, there's where he is.
He's in Philly now, right? Is that where we put him?
Yeah, he's in Philly. He was going to be playing in Philly. He's going to take the year off. So,
he took a year off, and I mean, now they can deal with his nonsense.
Oh, God. Anyway, John.
Well, Robo, let's see how it develops, brother. Let's see how it goes,
Let's see. All right. Tell you what, John, looking forward to seeing you Wednesday. All right.
My man. Always a pleasure, Rumbo. I thank you, brother, for everything you do. Stay
my
safe,
pleasure.
my man. Stay safe.
Thanks, John.
All right, my man. Good night.
You too.
Bye.
Oh, God. Well, there's guys. We've hit this from every angle. Let's see what Alex has to say. Hey, Alex.
What's up, Ronbo?
Alex, give me some of Jordan Reed, Alex, from that Alex state of mind.
Well, man, the cool thing about Jordan Reed, man, is we got to take what he brings to the table. We can't talk about, the potential of injuries and stuff like that, because if we go too far in depth with that, then we got to bring it up with the fact that we traded for Emmanuel Sanders coming off a torn Achilles.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, I mean, and he was 33 when we got him. Coming off one of the most devastating injuries you can have.
Yeah.
He's a dude just earned a contract. So, I mean, I'm not going to sit here and, act like Jordan Reed don't have an injury history, but what he also has a history of is breaking dudes off in the route running.
Yes.
Catching touchdowns.
He can
and, the one thing I've been thinking about while listening to everybody is kind of imagining our offense this year and, what teams are doing. They're bringing in pieces to try to shut down the Niners.
Mm-hmm.
Jamal Adams and, Jalen Ramsey last year. Well,
Isaac over in Arizona.
Yeah, true. Very true. And one thing I was thinking about is, the one way you can beat scheme and talent is by getting a bunch of dudes who are not afraid to punch you in the mouth, such as George Kittle, Samuel, Jalen Hurd. We got lots of dudes, we'll go to our running backs even. And, it looks like Brandon Ayuk on film is not afraid of contact. We got a lot of Juwan Jennings. These dudes are big, physical dudes.
Yeah.
Exactly. And, it's a theme. If you really think about it, Kyle has his shifty guys that can get open, Ayuk and, even Debo did a great job running across the middle last year and Emmanuel Sanders last year. But he mixes it with some really good players with the physical nature. Kyle Juszczyk, Tevin Coleman in the backfield, Raheem Mostert, and Kittle. And when you add more to that, I think, Seattle's going to have an all right defense, and the Rams are going to have an all right defense this year, and, Arizona. But the problem with that is you can just deteriorate the will of a defense when you got 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 dudes who are running through your chest every single time. And they're not just, they're not hitting you and then getting hurt themselves. No, when George Kittle hits you, he is having the most fun in the middle of a game. You know what I mean? These dudes love
Alex,
football so much.
With that, you remind me of George Kittle laying in the dirt laughing as the dude's getting up, trying to get up off of him. And George is laying there laughing hysterically. He is a very sick man. That's why I like him so much.
I mean, you got to think about this as this isn't just something that's, happened by chance. Kyle Shanahan has guys that can get open, and if they can't, let's say they don't have the necessary quickness as some dudes, they're going to overpower these guys.
Mm-hmm.
And that's he had Julio Jones in Atlanta. Dude was just overpowering any matchup you gave him, double team, triple team, all kinds of stuff. I think Kyle is trying to build that, but he's not saying be Julio. He's just saying, okay, in this position, you're gonna be able to out physical him. I mean, even look at the fact that Charlie Warner's 6'5", 250. That's a big dude.
Yeah.
That's a very big person. You know what I mean? So it's we got our guys, the Jet McKinnons, Raheem Mostert, and Tevin Coleman running right up the middle. And with Jet McKinnon running around the edge, catching passes and all kinds of stuff. And if you look at all of our receiving options, they're heavy hitters. They want to hit you in the face. And so I think that's part of something that Kyle wants to do, is because last year it was only Kittle in our run game that could punch you in the mouth. Now he's saying, let me branch it out into the secondary too, because let's be real, Jamal Adams is a Hall of Fame talent. That dude loves hitting people. Let's see how much he loves getting hit at the same time. You know what I mean? That's what we got. We know Jalen Ramsey can cover. He don't like getting hit. You know what I mean? So it's I think that's what this year is all about, is, people think that, we could have the Super Bowl slump and stuff like that.
No,
and I think we're going to come out.
They're too young. If they were a little bit older, maybe, but they're too young. Yeah, they're not thinking about Super Bowl. So they're still pissed off about losing a game they should have won. Yeah.
Exactly. So yeah, Bo, get ready for this year, man. It's gonna be a 1-round Mike Tyson fight over and over again, man. I think I can just see it, man. We're gonna have a lot of games where we're, right now we're saying this is gonna be a close game. This is gonna be a tough game. I just think that the physical overpowering that we're gonna be able to bring week in and week out, and then that opens up the little creases for a player like Jordan Reed. Let's run it back to Jordan Reed. That's the little things, the sly things that Kyle Shanahan's got in store for us, man. And we gotta be excited, man. We've been talking about this for couple months, man. We gotta just be excited for what's about to be brought on our television screen.
And I like the point you make about the 49ers offense now becoming physical, because the defense is already ridiculously physical. So now you're battering a team physically, and that is going to weigh upon their conscience. So now when you come out on the field and the defense is running your offense off the field kind of quickly, and their defense is back on the field, and the 49ers are still punishing. This could be. We're talking about.
We're gonna have a battering ram through the air and on the ground.
We're talking about taking it back to Steelers football back in the day. This is going to be funny if it does turn out that way.
With the West Coast Police, baby.
Hey, Alex, good stuff. I love it, man. I'll see you Wednesday.
Yes, sir. Talk to you, man.
All right, fam. Night, Alex. Yeah, you think about the 49ers offensively and defensively. Now they are brutal because they've changed their way of thinking as far as stacking offensive personnel. Now they want people to come in that can actually physically take the will away from the defense of the opposing teams. And I thought about that at one point, but I realized we've got a few finesse players, but most of them that will beat your brains out. We got the yak attack is just real as it gets. And then the other poor team brings their team out there, and they got to deal with people like Kinlaw, Bosa, Armstead, DJ Jones. I don't want to see Givens play. There's another. I mean, this team was just fun stuff. Sheik, get in here.
Ronbo, what's going on, fam? How you doing?
Hey, Sheik, man, I'm laughing because I'm thinking, don't let Jordan Reed work out. We may get bored some weeks because, at the half, the 49ers have already put up 36 points. The Hawks they do have 10, but one of those was on a mistake by, So you're thinking 36-10? Remember we were saying early in the season, what we need to do is put the Hawks completely to bed so people could stop comparing the Hawks to the 49ers? I look forward to that game, but I could also see going, early in the third quarter. But you know what? If it's the Hawks, Sheik, I promise not to go to sleep. Beat that blue and green butt to death. Oh! Yeah. But Sheik, you got Jordan Reed. What are you thinking?
Well, we're like talking about like a week and a half ago, like we need to go get a tight end. So I was like, Jordan Reed or Delaney Walker would make a lot of sense. And then we got Jordan Reed, and he's no guaranteed. And there's a lot of 49er fans, like, I want to ask them the question, what are we losing out of this? Like, there's some fans are just, like, complaining about it. I was like, there's no guarantee. There's no money. Mm-hmm. Yes, he has concussion problems.
Incentive later.
We have Kittle.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have Kittle there. We have nothing to worry about. Jordan Reed, if he gives us 10 or 12 games, that's worth it. We have a fresh Kittle. That's what's going to happen. And we have a dwelling in case. It works. It works perfectly.
I think people are just saying, do we have enough? Because, Sheik, there is the possibility that we might have to get rid of Dwelly. They're not going to get rid of Warner.
No.
So Dwelly's that guy. If Jordan can make this team, I guess. I'm guessing, though. I mean, I'm not. Man, what are you going to do? How many tight ends are you going to carry?
Well, I think you'd probably say 3. Warner, because he's a blocking tight end, you can make that risk that you did with Caden Smith. Just cut him, put him in the practice squad if he's available. If not, you have to replace him. Because at the end of the day, he's a blocking tight end. That's what we got him for. Dwelle, he's not a blocking tight end, but he could come into rotation. Jordan Reed could block for you. He can. He can do that, but he's more a passing tight end. But he does definitely a lot more. You have to have all 3. Yeah. And Kittle's going to be your blocking tight end all around. So they got to make him fresh.
Yeah, and I'd like to see Warner, if he's going to go out and do the grunt work, I want to see him on some plays where George Kittle would be that guy, but I want to see George Kittle splitting out right or left suddenly, leaking out from the end zone while Warner's in there doing battle, I'm sure that's what the 49ers are thinking as well. But he is a guy that they say can catch because he was a wide receiver before he became a tight end. So now you got the potential there. Right. So, but like you're saying, though, we're talking about a Pro Bowl dude in Jordan Reed. I'd love to see what he's got to offer.
Kyle Shanahan freaking coached him. And his dad coached him. So he knows all about him, and he's like advisor for the 49ers. So with the play calling, it's going to be set. That guy with that duel, and honestly, we've been saying it, like Kyle been saying it for a couple of years now. I've been looking at the Belichick system, and he's pretty much looking at Gronk as Kittle and Hernandez as Reed. He tried to get Hooper, like the other caller said earlier. That didn't work out. And there's other guys that he's like, no, that's cost too much. So let's get a no guarantee guy, Jordan Reed, work that out and have that honestly, Kyle Shanahan, he just added 30 more plays because of Jordan Reed. Yeah. And now he has a dual threat.
Expands.
It's going to be nuts, Romo.
It expands that offensive attack, doesn't it? Yes, it does.
Yeah. So, and it helps the Debo. I hope he comes back week 1, but what I'm hearing, early October. So if that happens, then you could keep Warner as your 4th tight end for now until Debo comes back. Then you have to cut him if you really need a blocking tight end. But I say 7 wide receivers we should bring back. The ones that are going to be cut, Dante Pettis, or traded. And Richie James. I'm sorry, man. Like I wanted to say, but like the other caller, I'm sorry. I apologize if I didn't say your name, but he said when he waves his freaking hand and he's like 20 feet of open space, you wave your hands like, dude, make him move, do something.
I know, Richie. I wish I could. Somebody to ask Richie. I'd love to get his response. That Richie, you have been accused of actually waving off kicks early. Is your feeling on that? Look, man, y'all don't understand, man. This is my body, okay? I see them dudes coming down the field 100 miles an hour. If I see I got to make a move, I'll make it. Otherwise, you come out here and you try to do this job. All right? All right.
And the call
I guess you get
Ronbo. It was Hank that one said it. I'm going to give him that shout out because he's 100% correct about that.
Who?
But I'm really happy with Hank, the caller, that Ronbo caller.
Oh, Hank,
he's the one that brought up this Richie James. So I'm just following up with him. He said it perfectly. I got so much frustrated, like you said, I was like, dude, what are you doing? Now we just, we score touchdowns still, but still, it's nice to have more room for Jimmy Garoppolo to have, more wiggle room.
Yeah.
So,
we got to have better returns. And that's why if we have any kind of preseason, not preseason, but if we have any kind of where Kyle can actually take a good look between Richie James and Travis, what's his last name? Anyway, the guy we just picked up from the Chargers. What?
Benjamin.
Travis Benjamin, yeah. It could be Travis Benjamin. Everybody says Travis Benjamin is definitely Richie James on speed. So I said, really? Because I haven't paid much attention to Travis, so I don't really know. But yeah.
He does a lot of things for you. He does like that. That's another thing that Kyle likes with certain guys. If he can't cut it, he will find his own guys. And you found Travis Benjamin. If Richie James can't do it, he'll find his guy. Other guys like Dwelly can't do it, Jordan Reed will do it. Yeah, so these guys are coming in already know Kyle's system. So, and it's exciting. Like you said, like the other guys getting you all as well. Like the Seahawks fans, the players, like they think Jamal Adams and Simmons, you might stop them once in a while. But we have more weapons, guys. It's not the Kittle show.
Yes, please continue to put all your resources on stopping Kittle. We'll be fine. In fact, we'll be better than fine. George will have done his job, and he's going to get the MVP award for drawing the idiots on the other team. Exactly. As we take them apart.
and I'm hearing they're looking at AB right now because he got an 8-game suspension. It's like, okay, you're very desperate, Seattle. You're desperate.
Hey, Sheik,
oh man.
But wouldn't you be? I hate to have to deal with the 49ers now falls another team. Because, come on, it's almost unfair. And those kids are reaching maturity. When they were rookies, okay, teams were beating them 49ers up. But now they grew up. Oh, the bully is about to get bullied back. Badly.
Yeah. I prefer getting an edge rusher. They should have got that guy from the Jaguars that wanted out. We got Ngakwe.
Ngakwe,
yeah, go get him. And then you keep your picks for the future. But then you go
because McDougal. I heard McDougal has stats similar to and better. So I don't understand what. Oh, anyway, fine. I'm glad the Hawks did it.
Hey, let them be, Ronbo. We're doing it right.
Sheik, wait a minute. Sheik, we gotta go. Let me see you Wednesday.
Definitely, Ronbo. We'll see you Wednesday. Shout out to everybody that calls in. Shout out to them chat, live it up, and shout out to Ronbo Fan Club. Faithful. Hit that like for Rumble Sports Ball, all platforms, and we got this season because there's a revenge tour. Let's go. Go Niners.
Big Sheik. Love you, man. We'll see you Wednesday.
Love you, bro. Love you. I'll see you Wednesday, bro.
All right. Oh, God. Jersey, I got to upset your little ploy about 49ers having one player. I'll give you two. You got both Nick, you know him, right? Nicky B. And also, don't forget Trent Williams. Oh, let me give you a third one, too. How about George Kittle? Hey, Elliot!
What it is, Ronbo?
Elliot, man, we're sitting back here having fun with having so much talent, because years ago, Elliot, we would have said, oh, we got Jordan Reed coming to 49ers. Now we're saying, it'd be nice to have Jordan Reed, but, I'll give him a one-year contract. Yeah, see what he can do. If he can stay with us, fine, because we'll be fine with or without him, but he could make us a little bit better. Okay, give him a one-year contract. Jordan damned Reed, Elliot. We're talking to Jordan Reed giving him a one-year contract if you could stay with us. That's how big and bad the Niners have become.
You know what, Ronbo?
Yo,
you hit it on the nail when you said that, because I'm the same way right now. I'm not that impressed. We got Jordan Reed, but I'm like, cool. Like if something happens to Kittle, as long as this guy can get over his issues that he once had in the past, he is definitely going to make our offense better, and he will help us if something actually – because we've seen something can happen to Kittle. Yes. Sometimes Kittle's is a little too tough. Like, bro, just go down. Just go down.
I know,
keep
right?
going. Just go down, because you're going to tear something trying to be too Hulkamaniac-like. You know what I'm saying?
It's that
just
WWE.
Just go down, bro. We got the first down. Just go down. You know what I mean? And that's not Kittle's MO. He going until if it's one leg, he gonna hop on that one leg.
He's a Marine. He scared me in that Seattle in that New Orleans game. I thought he was gonna get seriously hurt with them three dudes just hanging on him like curtains. Oh my God!
Hey man, look, the average tight end would have got hurt from that play.
Yep.
That's why we know he's a different animal, a different beast, and why we got to make sure we work something out. But I'm not really worried about this whole we haven't signed him stuff or whatever. It's okay.
No, they'll sign him.
It'll get done. We'll be the dumbest team ever.
Yeah.
Well, no, we'll be the dumbest team ever. It's just like we'll be the dumbest team ever to let him go. So I'm not worried about that part. I'm cool with Jordan Reed because, like I say, the guy that we drafted, he's a pure blocker. I've watched him in college. He's a pure blocker. Dwelly, he's more of a pass catcher, but he's a little inconsistent. George, you already know where he at. Reed, he, like the last caller said, it's cool to have all these guys with different dimensions who we can intertwine and put in the game, and they will work for whatever scheme, what it is, what we're trying to do. I laugh at the guys like Seahawks and them with all these extra moves. They trying to get in. They so desperate. It's ridiculous. They going for everything they can to try to keep up with the Niners. But that's because they know this. Russell Wilson ain't got too much longer.
Yeah. Not to be escaping the pocket like he does.
They got to go for it while he is in his prime, because after a while, it's going to be time to move on from him, because wear and tear is going to catch up with him eventually. But that's here nor there. He got a few more years. It's just they just trying to keep it going. They're not ready to give up their spot. And but we have taken over that spot.
But here's the thing. When you have a weakness on your roster, the 49ers have really gotten to your head. When you start to get players to target specifically what the 49ers are doing. Now, I figure in the next 2-3 seasons, teams are going to try to build their teams to counter like the Dallas Cowboys used to do to the 49ers.
Yeah.
You continue to bring talent in, trying to stop things one piece at a time, I guess. So George Kittle is the biggest headache. So people go around now getting something to work for George.
A huge headache. Hey, can I ask you something, Ronbo? Did you see the piece they did on him when they gave him his number for what he was for the 100 and all the players that had something to say? Did you see what they said about him?
Wait, who are you talking about? George?
George Kittle.
No, all I know is he was the seventh pick.
They were basically saying, look, he's unfadable. He will block you into next week. He's a monster on the receiving end. You can't do nothing with him. They said everything, but to be honest with you, we scared when we see that boy coming down the field.
Oh, God.
You know what I'm saying? So,
Ellie, he runs a 4.5. Big dude like that coming out field running a 4.5. What are you going to do? You're going to make a business decision 90% of the time. If he drops that shoulder, you could get seriously hurt.
And yes, you can. Hey, but you know what, before I get off this line, you know what my real major concern is? I'm cool with the Sound. I don't really think we need nobody else, Ronbo. I'm cool with my team, honestly. I was cool with our team before we even got Emmanuel Sanders. He just worked out way better than I thought.
Yeah.
You know, but because I'm with the whole you can't key on who we gonna pass the ball to right now type of thing. But what I will say is this: I'm more interested, and this is a little off subject, but I'm more interested in what Jason Verrett is gonna do.
I know that.
If he's gonna recapture his All-Pro play or not, because if he can, the league is in trouble.
Oh.
Ain't no stopping that defense. As long as we stay healthy, ain't no stopping that defense. We're not getting nothing.
You got that vicious pass defensive front line, and then you make it rough on the secondary. Now the quarterback can't find anybody to throw to. Now, Nick.
Yeah, you can't run, you can't throw. Your tight end can't catch you nothing because we got destroyed with them damn tight ends last year. But that was only because our certain players were hurt. Kawan was hurt, and Tart. You know, once they came back, everything changed. But before then, we was getting destroyed on that tip.
Tell you
Beyond that, I think.
Remember the first few games? We didn't allow nobody to get 17. I said 17 points, and that was in garbage time in the 49ers the fourth quarter, because most of the game, you had 7 to 10 points. That was it. And then in the fourth quarter, 49ers, all right, this game's over, man. Y'all kick back. Take it easy. Go on, let them have that one more point. You know, I mean, it look like that, you know?
You know who was doing it all, though, Ronbo? It was Kawan Alexander. Kawan Alexander was laying such lumber to them cats. Them pads was popping. He had the team hyped. He was killing them behind the line. And honestly, before Greenlaw and the other dude became a name, they was covering up that third line. Him and Warner was covering up that third line. Because if you got past one, you didn't get past the other.
Elliot,
you understand what I'm saying?
Oh, awesome stuff. We got to go, Elliot. Wait a minute. Let me see you Wednesday, okay?
Wednesday? All right, man. You stay safe, man. I'll talk to you Wednesday, dog.
Looking forward to it. You too, fam.
All right, man. Love y'all.
Hey, love you back, fam. Night, Elliot.
All right.
Hey, Naj, come on in here, man, and enjoy the party. Or, as Bruce Willis was saying in Die Hard, hey, welcome to the party, pal. Hey, Naj. Nudge. Hey, Jamie. Come on in, Jamie.
Hey, Ronbo.
Jamie, tonight, we've gotten to the point now that this organization is, we see a name like Jordan Reed, and we say things like, well, let's see. Well, give him a 1-year contract and, because we're going to be fine with or without him. But, he might take us to another level if he can stay healthy. At this point, Jamie, I think after hearing what everybody's had to say, we don't care so much if Jordan Reed joins the team. It's fine. But we don't really need Jordan.
No.
But what are you thinking, Jamie?
The last time the guy had a real good season was when they were making the playoffs, and like the Washington team, and then after they started going downhill, he didn't have anybody to throw to him, right? So Alec got hurt, and then they got this new kid. So the last few years, he's been like throwing the towel in. I think once he gets to our team, we start winning some games, and he gets the chemistry in the locker room in his veins. The dude's going to run through a brick wall and get up and smile.
Probably. Because you know what? You mentioned something that nobody's mentioned yet. Here's the thing. On a bad team, they were beating his brains out, and probably because they were trying to use him because he was the only guy they had they could depend on. He's not in that situation now. He could be fine.
Yeah. And he was a Pro Bowler. Like, dude's a Pro Bowler. He's not going to be the number one option. And when he does get his fucking time, his play, it's going to be a wide open play somewhere. And
with one-on-one or something.
Yeah.
He's going to bank it. I mean, it's going to be cash.
Yeah.
So I'm not sweating it at all. I think it's a good pickup. We paid the right amount. I think we had him in our pocket the whole time. We were just waiting.
Yeah.
And then as soon as training camp hit, they're like, all right, let's take him.
Yeah. Right. The timing on this, they waited to see after the dust settles. Nobody's calling him. He's not going to come in here and ask for the bank. We could just say, Jordan, here's what we're going to offer, and we'll lay some incentives in there for you. And are you ready to play football or what? And Jordan said,
that's exactly what they did.
Yeah.
And they told him, are you ready? And he says, yeah, I'm ready. And as soon as he gets in that locker room with our guys and he gets the feel of the chemistry of the locker room, it's going to be a good season. I like it.
I tell you, wouldn't it be something if both those guys? Because I understand that Jason Verrett has impressed. Sherman wrote up there's a whole article on Sherman being impressed with Verrett as of late. What does that mean? What if what if these handicapped guys both come in and do a job? Good grief. You talk about one-sided affairs every week. Oh, I just love this.
That's what I'm thinking. Like the other guy said, there's going to be 30 more plays in the playbook just because that guy's on the field and he can do what he can do.
Yep. You can expand.
And
you can expand.
They're not going to need it the entire game if we're blowing people out. I mean, our schedule's terrible. We got New England and they got half their guys opted out. That one right there is going to, I don't know. I mean, I think that's a 2-quarter game right there,
Yeah, but it's still Belichick. And the guy, it's Belichick, right? It's the Belichicks, the Lombardis, and the king of them all, our guy. I mean, when you think about it, man.
Well, we got the Jets, too, and the Jets just lost their safety. and we got the Giants. We know who they are.
Yeah, they picked up McDougal, and I got to tell you, I'm not sure why the Hawks thought giving them McDougal was a good idea. But
I don't know, but I do know that Adams is going to lead the Seahawks in sacks this year.
Oh. Yeah, you're good, Jamal. I look forward to that. Come running up there too fast. Bam! Oh, the rookie Johnny Warner just leveled Jamal Adams. They're calling a timeout. Adams is being asked. No, he's going to lay down. Back again. Here comes a doctor. I love these scenarios. Oh, God. Warner's got something to prove. He's just got an NFL. To level a guy like Jamal Adams would just make his day.
Last year we kept 4 guys on the roster for tight end, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so there's no reason they don't have to get rid of nobody. We can keep Dwelly, we can keep Warner and Kittle and Reed, and we're good.
I thought about that. Somebody else pointed that out earlier. We had Toilolo. We had Selleck. It was Kittle, Dwelly. Yeah, we did carry 4. Did we have another one as well?
Yeah.
You're right.
Yeah, all they did was fill out the squad because we lost Toilolo or whatever.
Yeah, he left.
Didn't he go to another team and Selleck retired?
Yeah, I think. Did he go to New York? For this year, Selleck was on the PUP last year to start the season. So we actually ran with 3. I don't know. Yeah. So it was, but he came back toward the end of the season. So you can, you can manipulate your roster later on in the season. You can start putting guys on the practice squad or waive them for a week or, shuttle back and forth. There's ways to keep guys, one extra guy on the roster. You can't have 2 or 3 extras, but you can have 1. So.
Yeah, so I'm going to say now, I think dude's going to have a big year, and he's going to go all year without getting injured.
Yes, let's think that way. Every one of us should be thinking that way. Because the longer he's out there, the better we're going to be.
He's going to thrive in our atmosphere.
Yeah.
That's my thoughts.
And he knows what Kyle's cooking. And so, it's a good thing. It's not a minus. The only minus is, can he stay on the field? That's the thing. So,
yeah, you got to think about the locker room too. Everybody likes everybody, and they all get along.
and support each other very well.
So,
and that kind of camaraderie, it adds to the morale of the team. It's a hugely nice.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Dude can get popped and be seeing stars, and he's going to get up and run off to the sideline.
I hope he runs to the right sideline. You know, when you're in that state of mind, you know, if you can work your legs.
Hope he runs. Yeah, hope he runs straight, but he'll run off.
Cops come out there and see. Give him the alcohol test. Breathe into this. I'm playing football.
You started on the 20 and ended up on the 50.
Oh, Jamie, man, we haven't talked to you in days, man. Where have you been? We got to go. No, let me see you Wednesday.
All right, I'll be there Wednesday.
All right, looking for you. Night, Jamie.
Good time, Ronbo.
You.
Yeah.
Well, it's a big show. It's a big show on tonight. Joe! So you heard somebody.
How are you?
You heard your name in other people's mouths, didn't you? And JJ is just a vicious individual. I should have known that he was making that up. JJ, why did you want to say something like that about the show? So come on and defend your position.
I am used to that, so it doesn't really bother me anymore. You should have seen the amount of online hate I got after the 2019 draft.
Yeah.
After you and I have been battling about it back and forth for months, and so I'm used to it now. Anyways, as far as the excitement needle goes, Ronbo, it didn't move an inch for me because I'm a little cautious about this signing due to the fact that he had a concussion history with Washington, and I think you alluded to this earlier that the hitting the defenseless receiver rule wasn't implemented when he was first drafted in the NFL.
Blasted, yeah.
And so he was getting blasted left and right, and you can't blame him from receiving a concussion. You know what I mean? That's like a sentence for receiving a concussion. You know, without that rule being implemented, and now that rule's in effect. I think that's going to benefit him tremendously, especially he's going to be the number 2 now behind George Kittle, as opposed to where he was in Washington, where he was the number 1 tight end before Verrett Davis got onto the scene.
Right.
So I think that's going to help him out a lot, and he's not going to be seeing a lot of snaps. I don't think this year. He may see some playing time. I'm cautious about this. And I'm more cautious about this signing because of his injury history. And as I mentioned earlier, we were interested in finding a number 2 for Kittle in free agency when we were linking our name was linked to Austin Hooper. And
that's high level talent we're talking about.
Exactly. They were looking for the same amount or equivalent talent to George Kittle to pair with him for the 2 tight end set package, which is what Kyle Shanahan loves to do. And the same exact blueprint of the New England Patriots, which is the same thing they love to do. They love to run that 2 tight end set package on their offense. And so the interest they showed in Austin Hooper told me that they were looking for somebody with that level of talent as George Kittle. And I heard some people saying that Njoku wouldn't have made sense for us because he was going to ask for an astronomical amount of money, which is not true. He was still on his rookie contract and wasn't going to be due until a new contract and for another 2 years. So we would have had to pay him $1 million this year and $3 million next year.
Is this contract he was a first round pick? They only given him 3? I guess that's tight end.
Yeah, a late first round pick. So
true.
Yeah. But
right and 31.
So this sort of solidifies that void that they were looking for. But it's just a 1-year deal, and I wouldn't be surprised next year if we used our first or second round pick on a really good tight end, which there are quite a few tight ends coming out of the draft next year from Penn State, Miami, and Florida, the Gators. There's 3 really good tight ends coming out next year. So you
could be right. You know what? Because we don't need to
behind Kittle. So
yeah, we don't need to bolster that defense any further. And we can pick up something in the second or third round.
Completely fine. Our linebackers are completely fine. Our edges are completely fine. Our front seven is completely fine. The only thing I can see us doing is signing another corner in free agency, unless that others on the other side of Sherman doesn't work out so well this year. You know what I mean? And we also have to look out for Jaquasi Tart potentially departing us. So those are two positions we could fulfill in free agency.
So you've been watching. I know you know. Is there a box safety style? Is there strong safety that you think could be found in the draft next year?
No, I'm saying free agency, not the draft.
Okay, but I was just wondering if you've seen anybody worthwhile, because I don't watch college football closely.
I haven't seen anybody yet because I usually wait until the college football season starts. So yeah, but yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see if they go find a dance partner for George Kittle next year in the draft coming up, because they want that. George Kittle needs to stay healthy, Ronbo. If he, God forbid, were to get injured for the rest of the season, our season would be done. You know how dramatic that would change our offense.
And we saw how that
as much
dramatically
as it
affected
did,
the
Jerick
offense.
McKinnon went down.
So
our season would be pretty much 8, 9, and 7 if George Kittle were to go down.
They can't afford to pick up anybody in the free agency for another 2 years. So, because we got so many free agents of our own we got to sign. So it's going to have to be through the draft, or, like you're saying, we got to hope and pray these guys, major players, don't get hurt.
And John Lynch, and I can see why John Lynch didn't go after
Jamal?
our trade for anybody, because he realized how valuable draft capital really is this coming draft, this past draft, because we were low on draft picks this year, and there were no trade partners apparently to trade down to acquire more draft picks. So we were unfortunate to have to get rid of Buckner and acquire another first round, which helped out a lot. So draft capital is going to be it's important. So we would have to give up a lot for Jamal Adams if that trade were to happen.
It's just ridiculous. Ridiculous trade. He's a safety. He's not a quarterback.
Yeah.
2 first-round picks?
I think we killed
a third.
We killed. We affected the trajectory of the NFC West by even linking our names to Jamal Adams, and outplayed Seattle's hand and affected their future for the next 2 years to come without 2 first-round picks. And that's going to be that they think that Jamal Adams is going to change the balance of the NFC West. Give me a freaking break here, man. We just affected their team.
He's a safety,
dramatically.
A safety cannot do that. God. So, what do you think about the idea?
Only a left tackle and a quarterback can do that.
Or an edge rusher.
The two most important, exactly, the 3 most important positions on the team.
So one question, though. The scheme, since the 49ers seem cerebral in what they do about everything, is it a good idea to throw money at Jadeveon Clowney? And it seems like somebody did do that the other day. When they put that report out, wait a minute.
Ronbo, where are we going to come up with the money?
Wait. Let me finish. The thing is, you throw that money at Jadeveon Clowney. Now, the Seahawks at some point may call him in and say, all right, what do you want? But if we drive the price up too high, now the Hawks go out of their minds trying to do something about it. If they don't have Clowney or somebody coming off the edge, it's going to be a bloodbath. What are they going to do? That's comical.
They're not going to do anything. They're not. I mean, don't ever count out Russell Wilson. I have a lot of respect for that guy, even though he's on our biggest rival in the NFL. But you cannot ever count out the Seahawks or sleep on the Seahawks, because Russell Wilson is a threat.
But the thing is, you a shootout with the 49ers? Who do you think is going to win that? We've got a defense that's going to limit you. You can go only so far. But if Jimmy G and Kyle Shanahan get together and run their offense on you as they please, you're going to get hurt, and you're going to get hurt badly.
Yeah. So we screwed the Seahawks into oblivion and beyond, and that's game, set, match,
I love it. Well, Show, as usual, great stuff. When Show comes in, he's always got something special to say. We got to go, Show. And if you get a chance, Wednesday.
All right, you'll have a good night.
Guys, I hope you appreciate this. Show's not going to come in here all the time. He only comes in when you bother him.
No, let me explain to everybody something really quick before I go.
Okay.
I like to let players play during the season. I don't like to criticize them during the season. I don't like to call them out or anything like that. I let them play, and when the season's done, they deserve their call-outs, and that's when we start arguing over draft picks and over free agency signings, and that's when I like to come in. Yeah. So I'm not really a regular season caller. I just like to watch football, let them play, and call in during the off season. So
and you do a great job. You're
out of respect.
Yes. All right, Joe. Good stuff.
All right. Shout out to the TNT family. Shout out to the Ronbo Sports Fan Club and the Bang Bang Niner Gang group and everybody out there. You all stay safe. Please take care, and please stop this spread. I've seen it in real life what it does to people, and it's no joke. It's literally a death sentence to some people, and just stay safe and help stop the spread, please. And you all take care and have a good night.
You too, Joe. Looking forward to hearing from you later.
Take care.
Night,
all right, for sure. All right, good night.
And it is. You got that show. As I say, show does not privilege us with his presence often until after the season's over. Now we're into the season, almost, so we can still say things. Hey, Ellis!
What's up, family?
We're enjoying the fact that the 49ers have at least broken the boredom by signing Jordan Reed, and now that we have him, we're trying to figure out what we're going to do with him and what is going to be his impact on the 49ers offense, which is the fun part of it, because as long as he's healthy, Jordan Reed is not the kind of player that disappears. If he's on the field, he's getting work done. So, but Ellis, what are your feelings on this?
Well, I mean, I think we all got a little bit of concerns about Jordan Reed's health. He hasn't played in a while, so he's had some time off. And from what Kyle and John were saying earlier, or from what Kyle specifically was saying, is that he was sounding really good, and he was, really optimistic and had, kind of a positive outlook on from what Jordan was conveying, that he was going to be able to come out and actually play and do well. But I mean, of course, he's got some work he's got to do. He hasn't been on the field in quite some time, so he'll have to get adjusted. Thankfully, Kyle, and there's nothing wrong with Kyle, being, the nepotism, so to speak, with all of the ex-players that he likes to bring in and stuff like that. I think it's actually, really good. People may look at it in certain type of ways. Like, oh, he gets all these players that used to be under him. What the hell is wrong with that? You know what I mean? It's people that are already adjusted to the system. They're quality players. He's not getting, any lackluster guys. He's getting some guys that, have had some really good production. Maybe they haven't had as much consistency because of injury and what have you. But he's giving them a shot, man. So I respect Kyle a lot for that. And I don't think we're gonna. If they cut Ross Dwelley, I wouldn't be mad. But I think Ross is actually a good tight end. I'm gonna be honest. Him playing fullback, him playing, but I'm saying him playing fullback, him, having to take on George's, position in a larger role in a very important game early in the season. He did really well, and Juice, exactly. That's what I'm saying. I would hate to see him go, and I think he may very well keep both to have two dual solid, tight ends where he can kind of really have a good time. I think all these tight ends might make the team. I don't see Ross, necessarily getting cut because, he might want to do some twin, some double tight, packages and, be able to kind of mix things up. And if one guy goes out, then he'll have another to replenish. So I think having two, other quality tight ends, like the Charlie and Ross, and then with Jordan and George, I think that's a really good combo. I think that depth is good, and we're going to need that, to be honest.
Yeah, but, Ellis, and one point to make before you move on, you just about have to keep Dwelley because you can't. Jordan Reed is not a promise to stay on the field. Dwelley knows too much about the offense. It would be a huge risk to get rid of Dwelley. So I think they're going to carry 4 guys in that position. They almost have to.
Yeah. That's where I'm at with it, and so. And he's kind of like he's got to work his way up. You know what I mean? These other guys even Charlie Warner, he's played more football than Jordan has as of late. You know what I mean? Because he just came off a a season. So he's got to kind of get in there and kind of show that he's ready to take on this role in this position. And a good point, and what I was thinking about was the past of concussions that he's had because of those changes with the defenseless player hits, and especially guys hitting in the head just in general, and all these other things, because that has been so heavily criticized, and these guys are getting thrown out. They're getting fined and everything. It's a security blanket for Jordan in this situation where he may actually be able to have a really productive season. Hence he can make the right kind of catches. Obviously, not get hit accidentally or even purposefully by another team, but being able to protect himself when he gets the damn ball. Because sometimes when you get hit like that, a lot of the times you're not paying attention. When you get those concussions or when you get knocked out and blasted from certain angles, you really don't always. Yeah, you don't see it coming. So that's why the impact is so heavy. And he's had so many damn concussions. I honestly, that brother, he better take it easy, because many concussions that I heard he had, he could become a vegetable, heaven forbid. So that's just not anything ideal for anyone realistically. So, but yeah, I feel good about it. I was looking. I said the Seahawks are keeping a close eye on the Antonio Brown situation. They are so fucking desperate. Excuse my French. I am about tired. Y'all are that pathetic. I mean, you guys go get it was Anthony Dorsett, or was it? I'm sorry, what was his name? Not Anthony Dorsett.
Josh
That's
Gordon.
The old school brother. Josh Gordon. But who's the Dorsett kid that they got from the Patriots?
Oh, I forgot Dorsett's first name. I know Philip Dorsett. Yeah.
Philip.
Yeah.
So Philip Dorsett. Then they got brought
beast mode
that
out
young
of
rookie,
retirement.
number 14, the big boy. Well, I'm saying that receiver too, the big receiver rookie. I don't know why I can't remember his name right now. I'm talking about number 14.
Receiver, DK Metcalf.
DK Metcalf. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They're trying to load up, behind the scenes and trying to, I mean, if they're willing to sign Antonio Brown and have him miss the first 8 games of the season, the desperation is real. I mean, you guys are willing to sign this guy and him not even play 8 games just so he can play 8 games. You guys would do pretty much anything. And I mean, I don't blame him, because you got to do whatever the hell you got to do to try and keep up with the San Francisco 49ers. However,
that's what I was just talking
really
about. Teams are doing weird things. God.
My God, desperation 101. So, yeah, I kind of laughed at that a little bit, but I'm not surprised. Like I said, I figured they were going to try to make another splash before, we actually get rolling into the season. They just did the Jamal Adams thing, and they're trying to acquire little guys here and there.
Ellis, they're grasping at straws. Let them continue to do that. It's watching them flailing around before we throw the dirt on them. It's funny. Let's keep doing. I can't wait to see what they do next. Ellis, we gotta go.
Pete's job is definitely in question. But anyway, we'll say that for Wednesday. Shout out to you. Thank you, as always, family, for everything.
Thank you, Ellis.
For the platform. And shout out to the Niner faithful. Make sure y'all download that Ronbo Sports app, man. Hit the like and subscribe. Let's get some subscriptions up, man. What's going on?
I appreciate that, Ellis. You know what I'm saying? Thank you,
always love, family. Respect.
All right, Ellis. You have a good night. Look forward to seeing you Wednesday. All right, fam.
You too, champion.
Hey, my dude Ellis, and I notice it's Christopher. And Chris, I'm gonna Google up your name tonight. So I don't want to pronounce it wrong, since I see you doing this kind of often. But thanks for that contribution. And I'm gonna say, am I right when I say Hengler? Yes, I think so. All right. Thanks, Chris. He says, keep it going. Good show. Niners in 2020, 2021. And Chris, if indeed we could keep this team intact, this could go on for the next 4 years. Alex! What's the other Alex? Alex!
Yo, what's up, Ronbo?
Alex, we're just having fun tonight.
What's going on, man?
Well, we're just clowning. As we look at Jordan Reed, somebody we would have been foaming at the mouth for if we could have got him like 4 years ago, right? And now we're saying, let's see what he can do. Kick the tires on this and see what happens. And watching teams do whatever they can do, trying to stop this, is fun to watch. It's starting to become a collective effort around us. Except the NFC West, the only team that's not doing it is the Rams because they don't have any money. But the Hawks, the Hawks are just, and Cardinals, they went all out. Because we both know the offensive line situation in both Seattle and Arizona is not favorable to a defensive front that's going to be coming at them like the 49ers are. But they went out and did weird things. But you're fitting on Jordan.
I like it, Ronbo. I think that it's like the definition of low-risk, high-reward because this guy was like the tight end back in, I know it was a few years ago, but he was like, he had 10, 11 touchdowns. And
11 out of 14 games, yes.
Yeah, I mean, this guy, he has all the talent in the world. And, obviously, like, we have the health concerns, but it's not like it's a ligament or, it's not like it's like a joint or anything like that. It's concussion. And so he's going to be coming out fresh. He's going to be coming out okay. It's just going to be how he can take the hits. But, like, back when he was getting these concussions, he was the number one, number two target because, Alex Smith likes his tight ends, and we know he likes to hang his tight ends out to dry. Like, we know Vernon Davis when he got popped by Cam Chancellor. Like,
I know, right? Jordan ruined his career for years. Yeah.
Right. So I think that Kyle Shanahan's going to be able to scheme this guy up to, like, not be taking these hits. In fact, I really think that we signed him for a red zone threat because this guy got some serious hands, and I don't know if he has that yak ability like Kittle does.
Not many do.
But I think he's more of like a move the chains kind of guy. But the thing about that, this guy Reed, he can play even outside the numbers. He's running streaks with corners and beating them. This guy can play all over the field, Ronbo. I mean, and he's playing on a vet minimum deal.
Incentives, exactly.
I mean, come on. I'm a little disappointed in some of the faithful tonight, Ronbo. I don't know why they're so negative on this Jordan Reed signing and not showing trust in John Lynch. John Lynch has gotten W's time and time again. This is like rubbing dirt in the face of the Jamal Adams trade because Jamal Adams isn't going to be able to cover both, Ronbo. You're either going to have to double George Kittle, and if you're not doubling George Kittle, you're going to double Jordan Reed, then you're just going to leave Kittle open. Like, this is like a lose-lose for everything we play.
I got wide receivers out there we're talking about too, Alex. As they're drawing that defense, Jerick McKinnon sneaking out of the backfield. Kyle Shanahan's going to be we may see him smile on the sidelines this year on occasion due to, as you say, those obstacles we're providing now for the defense to have to deal with while something else is going on. You know how Kyle is. Everything he does is like a cloaking thing, You don't know what's going to hit you until suddenly, boom, it blows up.
Right. Oh. Right. Exactly. And the thing is Jordan Reed he's not going to be picking the number one snaps. George Kittle's our number one tight end. Jordan Reed's only going to get maybe half the snaps, at most a game of what he was taking back in the day. So he's not that's going to reduce his chances of getting hurt. And like I said, he's not going to be double teamed. So his chances of getting hit hard are going to be even less than that because he'll be in single coverage or, and like I said, if they're doubling him, then they're stupid because then George Kittle's going to be open and then you got Debo on the outside.
Do it.
I mean, we got problems for defenses, Ronbo. I cannot wait for the
I got that defense occupied with the big time weapons, and all of a sudden there's Juszczyk wide open. Jimmy G finds him. It's another touchdown. San Francisco. Oh,
hey, he's the X factor. Everyone forget he slipped out of the backfield whenever you forget about him. I mean, he had a touchdown in the Super Bowl. Oh man, we got problems for defenses. Man, I cannot wait. I cannot freaking wait. But I think I like this Jordan Reed pickup. It's low cost, high reward, and it's like a 1-year deal. And so I think it's a great deal for our front office, a great deal for Jordan Reed, and it adds a huge wrinkle, not even a wrinkle, just a huge page to our offensive playbook. This is going to help with Debo too, because Debo won't be here. I mean, I don't know. if he will or not. But
yeah, don't count him out.
Like
it makes him mad. Debo plans on every intention of being back in week 1. Bless his heart.
Hey,
I hope he makes it. You know, woo, Debo.
I do too, but I don't want to rush. I don't want to rush him back because we got the whole season. You know, Kyle Shanahan's going to be smart about it. He's not going to rush him back. He'll bring him back when he's ready. But man, if this with Debo and Reed and Kittle and KB and Ayuki, this
don't
is going to be
forget
great
Trent
for
Taylor.
Ayuki too because it takes the pressure off him. Trent Taylor, we got problems and our offensive line is upgraded too because we got Brunskill now at guard. We got Trent Williams.
And Brunskill's over there where Person used to be. And Alex, what if Jalen Hurd comes in and establishes himself almost immediately?
Ronbo, he's going to be our number 1 wide receiver. I am telling you, he is maybe like number 2 option after George Kittle because this dude Hurd, he can play outside the numbers. He can play inside. He can play out of the backfield. He has that running back experience, so he knows how to get yards after catch. But he can also go up and get the ball. We saw that in preseason.
Abusing.
Preseason, I get it, but
abusing
he's
defenders.
6'5", Ronbo. He is 6. That's like Calvin Johnson, dude. I'm not saying he's gonna be Calvin Johnson. He was a freak, but he's got that height ability. I think we're gonna really see our red zone take a big leap this year with Jordan Reed and with Jalen Hurd. And even with Trent Taylor running the slot, those little quick, I don't know what routes are called. They like run inside the back out.
He's a slant specialist. As soon as Jimmy G gets up, he counts 2, 3, 1, let it go, and he runs right into it. Yeah, hey, about Jalen Hurd, do you know as a running back he was up to 250? Can you imagine a running back and Jalen Hurd? Yeah, he doesn't need to get to 250. I'd like to see him get around 235. That's fine for his size. I don't want to lose any quickness.
Yeah, 250 is more tight end. 250 is more of like a tight end number, but yeah, 235 would be cool because you can play outside the numbers too.
Yeah. I don't want to lose any speed.
Right. But man, yeah, I think Jalen Hurd's gonna because I think out of all the wide receivers we have outside of maybe Debo, I think that Jalen Hurd wants it the most. I think especially after being hurt, I think that Jalen Hurd wants it the most.
Probably for that reason, yes. But keep an eye on Ayuk. I got a good feeling about him. I think he might be Kyle's guy.
I think true.
And Dante Pettis may have to retire for that reason because Kyle already said he can do everything that Dante Pettis can do. When Kyle accidentally said that and made it public knowledge, everybody read the writing on the wall. Uh-oh.
Yeah. And hey, I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised if we saw more of a vertical offense this year.
Ooh.
Because if we have Jordan Reed and George Kittle running down the seams, like say George Kittle runs like a corner route and then Jordan Reed's running like a seam, who are you going to double? And you know that Jordan Reed is a basketball player, so he's going to go up and get it. And then what? You got Debo coming in on like a drag route across the middle, like the other way. I mean, where are you going to stop us, man? And we're going to have time to block it with Trent Williams.
Alex, and don't forget my boy.
All coming together.
Don't forget Jerick McKinnon was in the backfield along with Juice.
Uh-oh.
We got Alex. We got to go, Alex. Good stuff.
Right,
I'll see you Wednesday, okay?
All right, sounds good, Ronbo. You have a good night, man.
You too, fam.
All right, later.
It is actually fun. It's like you need to get a game. I just have you can play Xbox and get teams. I'm getting 49ers, but you play Madden. But now, and I tell you, man, the 49ers offense is just stupid. I mean, wow. This season can't get started fast enough. Gary Lee, I see you, man. Thanks, Gary. Gary says 14-2. Jimmy's going to ball out. Kittle will dominate. Samuel and Ayuk will be the new wideout tandem duo. And Kittle and Bosa will dominate in sacks. When you keep reading these names off, the 49ers, these names are pretty soon going to be Hollywood favorites. Really, it's just the talent level. It's just gone nuts. Hey, Dan.
What's up, Ronbo?
Hayden, they're just having fun tonight, fantasizing about this incredible team, Hayden. The fact that we picked up a guy like Jordan, Jordan Reed is a good football player. He has been a great football player. He's 30 years old now, so he's had a history. But now we're wondering where we're going to fit him in. and what's going to be his role, and fun stuff like that. I mean, I don't know how much you've looked into this, Hayden, but have you? And what do you think?
I think it's a good move. See, but Seattle, like, how are you going to stop us? Like, you can get all you want. You can't stop George Kittle no matter what you do.
Oh, they think they can. They're going to use Lamar and Bobby. It's going to take both Lamar and Bobby to stop him anyway.
Yeah, I don't know. They keep on trying.
You know what they could do? If they were smart, Hayden, they would pay off our players to take a dive or just allow them to win. Like maybe pay George Kittle. No, George Kittle won't bite. I don't know if we have any players that would, hey, psst, yeah, what do you want? Come here. I want to ask you a question. All right, listen, stay your distance. What do you want? I'm here to offer you some money. You want to lose the game this weekend? I got plenty of money to pay you off. What? Okay, how much you talking about? Hey, that'd be it. You got to give me $3 million. I'll lose this game on purpose. But but on the real, to be realistic, Hayden, there's nothing anybody can do but hope Kyle Shanahan calls the wrong plays. That's the only thing they can. That's the only thing they can do.
Yeah. Or if a player makes mistakes, but that's probably not going to happen.
Yeah. We'll hope maybe our defense is having an off night or something. I don't know. This team is really just, it's powerful.
Yeah. Well, Dante. Well, you know how I feel about him, Ronbo.
Even Hayden is getting on Dante.
Dante. You don't have a chance. You are not. Kyle, I swear, just please do not give him a chance. You gave him too many chances, Kyle. And he's trying to bribe John Lynch. Like, come on, no. You don't need Dante. What does he do? He had one good year, and then where's Dante? Where's he on the field? 2 weeks he was good last season. Oh, wow. Mm-hmm. Thanks, Dante. You did so good. No, we don't need him.
Well, Hayden, it sounds like you are in the mood to trade Dante Pettis. What are you going to ask for? I mean,
I've been in the mood for that for a long time.
Well, you want a 3rd round pick? You want a 4th round pick? I mean, will you give him away for a 6th round pick? I mean, because we just want to get him out of here, right?
Something for him. Something.
Maybe.
If he gets traded away or released, I will be singing la la.
I'll join you too, because and if we get anything for Dante, because he's not real high on the market, and it'll be a good thing, wouldn't it? Right? Release some, but it's dead cap money though. He's on a rookie salary, a rookie contract, so we still have to pay. Cap hit it would still be, but it would free up a spot on the roster, But hey, I got to tell you, I got to warn you. He could come into camp because, he hears a lot of things being said about him. He could be motivated. If a motivated Dante Pettis is different, we could see something special.
Yeah.
Because he can play.
I don't know.
He actually does have talent.
I know he does, but he just I gave him a chance, and then no, not anymore.
Did you used to like him too?
He played that.
Yeah.
No, I don't.
You never did? I mean, even from the beginning?
I liked him, but not like then he just randomly he does what Dante does. Is makes cookies while Jimmy Garoppolo's training with all the players.
Oh, Dante, it's bad. Even children don't like you, Dante. But they say if children and animals don't like you, you really got a problem. But Dante's kitties like him, so I guess he's okay. So yeah.
I don't know. I just like Jordan Reed. It's just if he could be healthy, he'll be good for us. He'll help with the whole George Kittle. He'll catch pretty good. I don't know. It's just like a good combo with George Kittle. I see it being, I see it like working out.
Hayden, you're absolutely right. If he can stay healthy, there's nothing.
I mean, I looked at his tape.
Mm-hmm.
Like once he got signed, I got happy because I knew he was a good player, and then I looked at his like plays and tape, and he looked good when he was on the field.
Oh, he's a monster. If we could just keep him on the field. And like people are saying, maybe Kyle knows how to set him up so he's not going to take incredibly bad contact on certain plays. He's going to be used sparingly. We're not going to put him out there all the time because you want to keep him on the field as long as we can. So, yeah, he's a good football player. There's no doubt about that.
And I'm not calling out Grant Coe or anything, but he's such an anti-49er. Like, he's like, oh, the Niners are not going to get George Kittle because the more John Lynch talks about him, we're not going to get him. I'm like, what? And I freaking I unfollowed him. Irritated me.
Joe, hey, listen, Hayden, there's going to be those who annoy you and those who you can agree with. So try not to, don't hate too much because before you know it, you start becoming judgmental and you start hating everybody. I never unfollow people just because I want to get at them after a while if they say the wrong thing. I've got about 30 guys that I should unfollow or block. Maybe I should, actually, I'd like to send some hitmen over to their house. But you got to keep them right where you can see them. So next time they say something, you can get all over them. The fun part is beating them up. Oh, God, I love doing that.
Yeah, I just don't get, he says like he's a big Niner. He like talks about all Niners, but like, he's such an anti.
Hayden, let me tell you. You know what? He really loves the 49ers, but he does that because he wants to get an argument. He wants to start a conversation.
Does he want to get on our nerves?
No, he likes feedback. So he likes the 49ers, I promise you. But hey, we got to go.
Yeah, I know.
Let me see you Wednesday, okay?
All right, I'll try to get back on.
I hope so.
Nice talking to you.
Good stuff tonight, Hayden. Love it. You have a good night.
Right, bye.
Bye.
Night, Ronbo.
Night, Hayden. And local 49ers fan, thanks for that contribution, says, what up? The paid spectators, otherwise known as the Hawks and Cards, O-line will make Hopkins hard to find and Wilson wishing he was in Cleveland. Local 49ers fans always got a nice spin on things. Can you imagine? Fam, honestly, because this could be the year. If Baker Mayfield, how many more years he's got on his rookie contract? If he's got to have at least 2, right? Yeah, his rookie. Yeah, he's got 2 more years on his contract. In 2 years, the Cleveland Browns, who may continue to struggle, who knows? But if they do continue to struggle, and Russell Wilson is at the end of his contract, the Hawks are just going to say, Russ, we're still a regular season team. Listen, Russell, what we want to do is this. We're not going to give you an increase in the salary as you might think you're going to get. We're not going to be able to do that. We're not able to anyway, even if we wanted to. Financially, it would put us below ground. I'm talking below, you could feel the heat from hell. So listen, what we're going to do is this. How would you like to go to Cleveland? We're going to make that deal. We know you have a no-trade clause contract, but we thought you might like going to Cleveland and working with some of those weapons. OBJ's still over there waiting for you. How about that? Hawks! Go Hawks! Hey, fam, I'm going to go ahead and stop acting silly as if I weren't the whole program. And I'll see you Wednesday. I'm going to send a press conference, but I don't think they're going to do it. They only had one presser this week, probably. They're only going to do one a week. We'll see what happens. But there may be some more activity in camp. Let's see what happens, and we'll come on back and talk about it on Wednesday, okay? Now, fam, you know I love you. Hit that like, please. I can't wait to see you Wednesday.